Well, I guess it's time. It's time for the show. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Order 42. I am Rob. This is the show. And yeah, hey, look, we got a poll going. Liquid poll. Now look, we have two, for some reason, man, apple strudel and toffee pudding just don't get the love. They don't get the love. I don't know. And the new one, peanut butter cookie custard, that's in first place right now. But it's up to you. If you want one to win, you got to vote for it. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. I don't know why I'm doing that. But hey, welcome to the show. And I'm just going to say my back still hurts. I didn't do any hiking this weekend. And well, I mean that's a thing. That's a thing. I do want to mention at the beginning of the stream here, and this is just a thing, but hey, I got a I'll just say I heard from a viewer, and they said that the live streams are fun, but the chat is a little bit on the intimidating side. And we're not as friendly to newcomers as we should be. Now, I'll say this. I say hi to everybody, you know? So if you're a mod or if you're just a member of the chat and you're here every week, hey, say hi to people. Say hi to people, you know? And if they're leaving, say bye. You know? It's that one of those things that we can all do and it can just make a place a more inviting place. Look, we're all friends here. We know this. But, you know, hey, let's make it a little more inviting. You know, let's make it a little more inviting. That's all I ask. So, you know, hi. And look, I'm not saying at all that we can't bust each other's balls a little bit from time to time, because that's kind of what we do here. But you know, let's make it a friendly place. Let's make it a place that anybody new can come in and they can have a good time and they can, you know, they feel welcome. You know, so do me a favor and help welcome the new peeps. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Hello, Machu. You always thought that the chat wasn't intimidating enough. Well, I'm just saying. Let's make it an inviting place. That's all I ask. But let's see what the chat's up to. Starfox was in first and saying that he's on vacation visiting family here in Cedar Park, so he's going to miss this one. And then he comes back and he says, "No, I'll be here." So Starfox, it's good to have you. It's good to have you here. And then in Jinzu, man, just out of the gate, not even saying hi. He's saying custard for the win. That's what he thinks. So, I mean, look, the custard might win, but hey, it's up to you. It's up to you and you only. Not you only, but you have a voice. Anyway, and Cosmo, welcome. An apple toffee cookie custard pudding. Well, here's the thing. This serves a lot of purposes, right? Because I buy all these liquids. I choose these liquids. They're liquids that I want to try. So I want to try them on their own. Let's not get crazy and just dump stuff willy-nilly. I mean, I might as well vape the bucket of shame over there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. The bucket of shame. I need to clean all this. I need to clean that up. That doesn't need to be there anymore. But, oh, that camera. Yeah, the bucket of shame. That's all the liquids and flavorings. It's not all just liquids that I buy, but it's liquids and flavorings that, you know, they're either old or they weren't good. So I put them in the bucket of shame and then eventually I'll get rid of that. And I need to do that quickly. But I haven't done it because I'm an idiot. So anyway, yeah, so I want to try the liquids to see if they're good. And if they're good, I want to buy them again. You know what I mean? So there you go. The high budget portion of the movie industry is cooked for sure. Machu, you're not wrong. And I mean, I have some things that I want to show here a little bit later once we're in the show, into the stuff. But I do want to talk about that because I think it's important for something that I love. I love the movie industry, right? I mean, it's I've always loved it. Ever since I was a tiny boy that was this big, and I was like, I love movies. But no, I love my movies, and to see it sort of self-destruct is kind of crazy. But we'll get there. Well, don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there. Rufus the Red, welcome, sir. Good to see you. And thank you for your help, by the way. Your help, by the way, last week. Very helpful. So thank you. Let's be more chill in chat, everyone. Keep it calm. I'm not saying that we need to keep it calm. I'm just saying let's be more inviting, you know? Somebody comes in, say hi to them, you know? Like hey, Shozama, what's going on? 104 degrees and I'm guessing El Paso. I'm guessing that's where you are. I mean, I'm sure you're like at home. But yeah, that's pretty warm. It was like 92 on Sunday, and it was actually kind of nice. And it was like, man, I wish I could go hiking, but my back's still jacked up because I'm old and stupid. And then it got back up to, I mean, it's probably, I don't even know what it is outside right now. That's not right. It can't be just 89 out there. It's freaking hot. 93. Well, that's actually not that bad. Huh. Color me surprised. Or something. I don't know. And Frodus Boy, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Welcome. See, there you go. Machu's, he's got the right idea. Hey. Here's the thing. I just, like I said, it's something that I didn't really think about. It's always one of those things. It's always one of those things where like I try to make everybody feel welcome, and I don't. So I'm trying to, you know, make sure that you know I see you and I appreciate you and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I think the chat could you know help out a little bit in that area. Just saying, it's one of those things. So, yeah. So let's see. Also, I do want to mention at the beginning of the stream here, every Tuesday night when we do a stream, we do a hangout. We do a hangout after the stream, and it's over in Discord. So if you you know, hey, and you can do these commands too, by the way. There's a whole list of commands that you can do. In fact, you might just try some commands and you might see what comes up. You never know. You never know. But yeah, we have a Discord server, and over on the Discord server, after the show, we do a hangout in the Discord, and it's free to join. It's all part of the thing. So you guys want to come out over and hang out, you can do it. Oh, there's not a 21B command, is there? Or is there? I don't know if there is. There should be, if there's not. No, there's not. Oh, wait. Let's see if... Nope, there's not. There's not a 21B command. There's an orange block command. But, you know, I guess you can't be perfect. So yeah. Let's see. What else? I did want to mention this really quick. I am going to be on Chainsaw Reacts as a channel, and I go hang out over there sometimes on Wednesdays. Tomorrow night is, I think, let me just look. Let me look real fast. I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Episode 100 of the Council of Creators is tomorrow night over on the Chainsaw Reacts channel. And he says every hour ghosts? Oh, there's ghosts on the channel. Every hour guests are rotating in and out. And I'm going to be on the 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. slot. Now that is Eastern time. So, in fact, I need to make sure that that's Correct. Before tomorrow. But if you want to come hang out on the Council of Creators, yeah, that'll be tomorrow night. And I think he does a live stream every Wednesday. But here's the thing. There's this Alien Earth. Now, look, I'm really excited about Alien Earth. All right, you guys know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan, which makes me a huge Blade Runner fan, but it also makes me a huge Alien fan. I love Alien so much. I collected the comics back in the day. I'm a huge Alien fan, and Alien and Aliens were two of the first rated R movies that I ever saw. Now, of course, they were being edited by my dad, which basically meant he was there with the mute button so I wouldn't hear harsh language. But here's the thing, he was really terrible at it. So what would happen is I'd hear the curse word and then I wouldn't hear the next 2 or 3 words after that because he was bad at it. But that's okay, you know? I mean, not everybody can have video game cat-like reflexes. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is Alien Earth premieres next Tuesday night. So I'm trying to figure out what to do because I want to do reviews of this because let's be honest, there's not a whole lot of movies coming out over the next however many months. There's just not a lot. So this is a chance for me to do, my weekly video can be an Alien Earth review because I'm watching the hell out of this show. All right. So that's just, I don't know. That's probably what's going to happen, which means starting next week, we may be doing the live stream on Wednesday night. I know. Or Monday night. Maybe, hey, you know what we'll do? We'll do another Discord poll and we'll find out what you guys want. So if you're in the Discord, you can vote on that. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Gotta watch Alien, man. And if you're not aware, the reviews came out for Alien, and there's only about 40 reviews listed right now, but it's at 90% right now, which means 36 of them are favorable. And a lot of them are saying like stuff like, man, the Alien Earth is like the best alien thing like of all time. Now, I don't know about that. But a lot of people are very, very happy with this, and I'm very excited about it. So, I got to watch it. I got to watch it, and I want to watch it as quickly as possible so then I can get my review out, but also because you know me, I don't like spoilers. So anyway, that's probably what's going to happen. Starting next week, we will not be doing a stream on Tuesday. We will be doing it on Wednesday. So that's a thing. And I just wanted to make you aware of it because, well, that's the deal. So you think Monday shows on? Hey, I'm fine with either one, but it can't be on Tuesday because if we're going to do a live stream and then a hangout, that's like 5 hours. I don't want to do it before. I definitely don't want to do it after. I don't want to be up till 3 a.m. I mean, I'm no Wraith, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I don't know. KP Senti, hello, welcome. Hello to you. Good to see you. You'll keep it lo-fi? All right. Are you going to be appearing on location or virtually? You're talking about tomorrow for the Chainsaw Reacts? I will be, in basically like this, except smaller. And we'll all be chatting. Because it's fun, man. It's weird. It's like the first couple, I was like, I don't know about this. But then the more that I go over there, I do have a good time when I'm there. And we do talk about some interesting things. Sometimes I have nothing to say about what they're talking about. If they're talking about, Care Bears and, My Little Pony, I don't have anything to say about it. Not that they talk about that. I'm just saying there are certain things that I just don't know about. Or they go really super deep in like some comics lore. And I'm like, I don't know anything about that. So I'm just going to stay quiet and listen, and that's what happens sometimes. But I think it'll be fun. I always have a good time. And for me, it's only like an hour. So that's kind of even better. I don't have to commit the whole 3 hours or 4 hours or however long they go. So, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And Robert Rivera, welcome, sir. Good to see you. And yeah, look, I mean, I don't know what to say, guys. We have 11 votes and 55% is the peanut butter cookie custard. Now, I will say, what won last week? That was the strawberry banana milkshake. Yeah, it's still good, but it even tastes more like gum, like a strawberry banana gum, like bubble yum or Hubba Bubba. More like bubble yum. Remember bubble yum? Anybody? No? Yeah, I do. That's what it tastes like. And the peanut butter one that won a couple of weeks ago, tasty. I'm just saying it's tasty. So that's why I'm kind of excited about this. Peanut butter cookie custard could be great. And yeah, the nuck will happen. We will have mega nuck tonight. Mega nuck. So let's see. What do I want to talk about next? I think I want to talk about this. For those of you who may or may not be aware, today was the release of this Master Commander: The Far Side of the World Steelbook in 4K. Now, if you look here, this is from the Digital Bits, and I got to tell you, if you're into physical media, go to thedigitalbits.com. Okay, I've been going there for, I don't know if I've been there for 27 years, but I mean, I've been there a long time. I've been a member, or not member, a viewer, a goer, a website goer. I don't know what to say. I've been going to the Digital Bits for a long time. So back in the day when I was working at Blockbuster and we first got DVD, I was reading the Digital Bits, man. Digital Bits is a great website. Talks about all the different things. In fact, I wonder if it's even there anymore. Here, hold on. Let me see. It'd probably be hold on a second. I'm just curious if it's still there. Okay, it may not be there anymore. But what he did, it was a column, I think. And it was the original bits? What's that? Holy crap, that's what it looked like back in the day. This is what it looked like. Wow. That's interesting. That's what it looked like. That's pretty amazing. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that back in the day at Blockbuster, I used to print out, there was this thing that it was basically the difference between letterbox or widescreen and pan and scan. So when people were talking about DVDs and they were like, well, why is it black bars or whatever? And I'd show them, here you go. You're not losing picture. You're actually gaining more of the image, the original image from the movie, because people didn't understand. They didn't understand what they were like, why is it cutting out part of the movie? No, that's not what it is. But anyway, so basically the Digital Bits has been around for a long time. But in their review, they talk about this. Look at this. A+, A+, extras, a C. So let's see what they say. Down here. Unfortunately, that's only a portion of the features included on this brilliant 2-disc collector's that are missing from the new set that were on the original 2-disc collector's edition DVD back in the day in 2004. Here's the funny thing. I used to have that. And I realized that I'd gotten rid of it. And I didn't know why. But basically what he's trying to say here, what Bill Hunt is trying to say right here is that all of these special features are not available on this new 4-disc set. Well, guess what? They're on the digital. So if you get the digital code has all of these special features. So even though they're not on the disc, you still have access to those special features, which I think is pretty cool. But if you look here, I mean, this is a beautiful set. And if you're a fan of Master and Commander, I mean, why wouldn't you want to get this? I mean, Why wouldn't you want to get this? Yeah. Yeah, I got it. It was supposed to come tomorrow, so I didn't plan on talking about this, but here it is. I got it today. So let's open it up, please. Let's open this sucker up. So yeah, it's got the cool little slip thing. Look at how, I mean, that is pretty gorgeous. Pretty gorgeous. And by the way, I will mention I got this from Amazon. And Amazon has been doing seemingly a better job of protecting the steelbooks, because this is in literally perfect shape. There's no dents, there's no nothing. This looks fantastic. So let's open this up. And then yeah. If you don't know what this is, for some reason you haven't seen it, I would say first seek it out. But it is there was a series of books written by Patrick O'Brian called Master and Commander. And Master and Commander is the series. And you got Captain Aubrey, played by Russell Crowe. And then Dr. Maturin, played by Paul Bettany. And they are basically like best friends. And a lot of what it's basically life on a ship. But it's awesome. The naval battles are fantastic. Like, if you like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, if you enjoy the action in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, watch this. Because this is more realistic, and the characters are fantastic. It's just a great movie. Now, this was supposed to basically be the start of a new IP, right? They were going to make multiple movies with Russell Crowe as the captain, with Paul Bettany as the doctor, and it was going to be this new series. For whatever reason, this didn't do well in the theaters. And unfortunately, I didn't see it till it came out on home video. So I'm one of the reasons why it didn't do too well at the box office, unfortunately. But I love this movie, and I think it's great, and I would highly recommend it. Of course, on the discs here, the bonus features there, you do get deleted scenes, you get a historical and geographical trivia track, and a pop-up map. There's not a whole lot of special features on the discs. But as I said, all of those special features are on the digital copy. So when you do get the digital code, you pop it in, and at least with iTunes, every single one of the things that he mentions, that Bill Hunt mentions on the digital bits, and it's all there. And it kind of bummed me out a little bit that he didn't mention that. So, and I'm just curious. I can't show this to you because it's because of the way it's like a separate program, but I want to see if they've updated it already, because I looked at it last night. It was still only HD. Where is it? There it is. It's still only HD on iTunes, according to this. But the extras are all there. So if you're wondering and you're like, man, maybe I should pick up the collector's edition DVD set. I mean, you can, I was looking just to be, 100% on this. They're on eBay for like $14. They're not expensive. I remember when I bought it, it was, I want to say $30 or $35 from Best Buy. Because it was one of those sets that folds out, and it's like this huge thing. It's got the map, and I mean, it's got some really, really cool stuff with it. But I got rid of it because I was like, well, I've got the Blu-ray now, which is better than the DVD, and I've got the digital copy. So, anyway, like I said, I highly recommend that movie. It's so good. It's so good. I've never seen that movie. Is it good, and what is it about? Well, Robert, I hope I told you. I hope I gave you enough to make you go, yeah, I want to check that out. It's a lot of people have said that it's kind of like if you took the relationships in like Star Trek, You took them out of the sci-fi element and you put them on a naval ship in, what is it, the 1600s or whatever, 1700s, that it would be very much like Master and Commander. And I have to agree. There's that companionship, the camaraderie, the uh the amazing, I mean seriously awesome naval battles. Like I'm sure there's CG in there, but it looks like it was shot out in the ocean. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic show. And there's so many different characters to kind of fall in love with. It's awesome. It's just an awesome show. It's an awesome movie directed by Peter Weir. It's great. It's great. So, and here's the thing, Patrick O'Brian wrote 21 of these books. And I have all, that you can't see them. They're up there. I have them all in paperback. I got a killer deal on eBay way back in the day. And it was someone's set that they never read. So all of them are unread. I haven't actually read them all. But what's funny is Master and Commander is the name of the first book in the series, but The Far Side of the World, where the story is taken from, is from the 10th book. Little frustrating, little confusing, but there you go. All you got to know is that it's a great naval series. Russell Crowe, Paul Bettany, fantastic. It's just so well acted, well shot. All that stuff is great. So, yeah. Is it me or is selling? Are they only selling a steelbook now? Killing the hobby for me. I was upset not being able to get a normal 4K of Kingdom of Heaven. Well, here's the thing, Machu. You can still get the regular editions, but you have to do a little work. Meaning you have to go to like Diabolic DVD or Orbit DVD. And again, I'm willing to, I'm not hoarding all this stuff, all this information. If you want it, like I guarantee you that there's over on Diabolic, there's probably, oops. You probably heard that and was like, what the hell? Here's the thing. You do kind of have to be careful. Every now and then there's I'll just say they sell everything. If it's on disc, they'll sell it. And there's some adult titles that show up on there. Just saying. Master. Here, I'll just do that. Okay. Let me do Master and Commander. Okay. So here you go. Here's a standard, but it's only from the UK. And it's $34.99. Now I know you might say, well, that's exactly the problem. The Steelbook here. See, here's what's funny. This says $51.99. I got it for $40 on Amazon. So, I mean, I get what you're saying though, because the prices are going up. But if you really think about it, the prices are going up on everything. Everything. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like Switch stuff is going up in price and then, everything's going up. So, I mean, for me, I get what you're saying. I mean, I remember the days when Blu-rays when they first came out, Blu-rays were $20, and the standard editions of a movie would be $25 for 4K. Now it's like $35 for 4K, $40 for a Steelbook, or however much for a special edition. I mean, shit, my Bridge Too Far that I got from Australia, but it was $90 for one movie. Now it was a crazy big special edition with tons and tons of extra content, but not everybody wants that. A lot of people just want the movie. Now, I will also say that you can probably find the digital copy of this for much cheaper. But I'm just saying, it is out there. And I know it's not for everybody. What I mean is the collecting physical media. But, I mean, dude, I'm addicted. I love it. And when I get a box of stuff, I'm excited. I mean, Criterion, when they do their sales, it's $20 for Blu-rays, $25 for 4Ks. So, The deals are there, but yeah. But I know Kingdom of Heaven had a standard edition, but it was only in the UK. And I think it's because the studios here in the US are trying to maximize their profits by making them steelbooks. And look, I don't agree with that either. When the Quentin Tarantino movies came out, so you had both Kill Bills, you had Jackie Brown, and you had what was the other one? Or was that it? No, that was it. From Lionsgate, those were $40 a piece for the steelbooks. I ended up getting them standard for 28, and I bought those in Walmart. So like at a Walmart. So I mean, they are out there, but not all studios are going to play by those same rules. And I think when it comes to, well, the Sony movies, Sony, Disney, 20th Century Fox, or 20th Century Studios, whatever they are now, when it comes to those movies, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. And that's just the way physical media go, kind of. It's so weird they never understood that. Well, I mean, if you've been watching movies on VHS your whole life, and they've always filled up your 4:3 screen, and then all of a sudden a third of your screen is the movie, and then you got black bars on top and bottom, you may not understand what is going, like, why are they blacking out the top and bottom of the screen, not realizing or not thinking that when you go to a movie theater, it's a wide format. It's not 4:3. So it was just basically showing the differences and giving you examples and all that stuff. I've told that story a million times, the one at Star Wars. At the first time I saw the original Star Wars movie, New Hope, in widescreen, it was a revelation because I saw things that I'd never seen before. Because I never saw Star Wars in a theater because I was too young. I was only one when that movie came out. Every time that I'd seen Star Wars, it had been on, Showtime or HBO or whatever it was back then. I never got to see a widescreen version of it. So suddenly I'm seeing action figures that I knew existed but never actually saw in the movie. And I'm like seeing them and I'm like, holy crap, there he is right there. It's just, I don't know. It blew my mind. And from then on, I mean, I was buying, back in the day when I was still buying VHS, I was buying everything I could in widescreen. So we would get, at Blockbuster, we would get the standard pan and scan edition, which that term didn't really, there was no full screen or pan and scan back then for VHS. It was just you got the movie and that's the way it was formatted. Then I started getting the widescreen versions and had to special order them, and they were much more expensive. So it's a different format that they're putting on tape. And then when DVDs came out, they were doing both. They thought that DVDs were going to be like Laserdisc, where it was going to be a very niche thing and that, they weren't going to get this huge adoption for it. But then people like me were showing people and going, holy crap, look at everything you get. Look at the benefits of using a disc format. It's amazing. You can rewatch the scene over and over. There's no rewinding. There's all kinds of benefits to it. So they had people like me, that really pushed that format and it blew up. And I mean, movie fans everywhere were so excited for DVD. I mean, God, it was the fervor for that. And I was pre-ordering, man, I had so many movies. It was ridiculous. And ended up selling most of them because it was like, I'm not watching these movies. I'm just buying them. I'm not actually watching them. And that's why now when I purchase them, they go in a stack. And they don't get put on the shelf until I've watched it. So that stack is, it's like 35 movies over there. That's dumb. That's how many I've purchased this year that I haven't watched yet. And right now, I'm in the middle of watching Twin Peaks for the first time. So that's a thing. We'll talk about that more next week. I finished the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks and then finished the movie last night. And I'm watching special features right now. And then I'm going to move into the final season, or they call Twin Peaks The Return. I'll be watching that this week. And so I'll be able to talk about Twin Peaks as a whole next week. But anyway, there you go. Master Commander, an underrated movie. Yeah, absolutely. Rob, do you remember DVD Aficionado? I do not. I do not. Oh, there you go. Machu, 20 book, 20. Well, there's 20 books, and then there's one that was an unfinished novel that they released afterward. I only have the first 20. I don't have the unfinished novel yet. But yeah, what I wanted was a kind of a set like one of these, you know what I mean? Like really, really nice box set. And all the ones that came out for Master and Commander were kind of like, they were cool looking, but then, you know, you'd read the reviews and they were like, yeah, they were missing pages. Some pages were put in upside down, and it was just, there was a lot of quality issues with the big collected editions of those. So I have the paperbacks, and I actually have them all digitally, but I still haven't read them. Maybe he's not a digital person. I mean, of course. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, you should just buy digital. I'm just saying, depending on the movie, I may not buy it physically. I may just pick up the digital copy or the digital code from iTunes when it goes on sale. Depends on the movie. If it's a movie that I love and that I know I'm gonna watch multiple times, well, there you go. So, for example, Alien Romulus. That is a movie that I would like to own because I own all the other Alien movies. The problem is, it's still $28. If you go, or more. If you go into, I think Walmart was carrying it, the 4K for a while, and it was like $35. And I'm like, I'm not paying that. I'm not paying for that movie, or for that price for that movie. Now, if it comes down, I'll buy it. So if it's part of some sale or a buy two, get one free or whatever that, you know, Target and Amazon have been doing that, and Walmart have been doing that sale from time to time, I may pick it up then. But I'm not going to just blow the money right then for that. Now, I probably should have done that for the Kill Bill, both of the Kill Bills and Jackie Brown, considering there was nothing really new on those discs. It was really just, hey, here's a 4K copy of the movies, but there's all the special features are exactly the same as the Blu-rays that I own. So it's kind of like, why do I need to spend the full $28 when I probably could have picked them all up for a buy two, get one? And it would have been a better deal for me. But I wasn't thinking. I saw them and I was like, I don't know what that sound was, but that's what happened. I just bought them. I said, screw it. So take the Star Trek relationships and put on a boat from the 1600s, like the movie called Star Trek Generations, when they were on a boat when Captain Jean-Luc Picard got a disturbing message. Well, see, there you go. Adult like Marriage Story. I mean, I'm talking about adult like as in full-fledged, you know, 70s porn. They'll just put it on there. 80s. It depends on the movie. And some of it is kind of like the what do you call that? The like almost porn that they would release that was on Cinemax and stuff like that. There's a lot of that on Diabolic, but every now and then the covers are just a nude woman. So you got to be real careful depending on who's around when you're looking at that, because it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm not buying that, but there you go. Wolfellow, how's it going? Good to see you. What's up to you? I hope you're doing well. If they just want the movie digital sale or DVD, even used can save some buckaroos there. Shozama, absolutely. Good point. I mean, there's so many times that I've picked up a movie, like I've been on the verge of picking it up and I end up seeing it at Half Price Books or whatever for really cheap. And I'm like, yeah. Like 3:10 to Yuma, okay, is a great example. The more recent one with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe, right? Actually, it was the remake, and it's why am I freezing on the name? He did Ford v Ferrari. He's the one who directed it. Anyway, I was thinking about, yeah, I need to pick that up, and they had just released a 4K. Well, the Blu-ray was there, and it was $3. And I'm like, I just want to see the movie again. I don't, so I just picked it up for $3 and moved on with my life. That's a great way to do it. So I'll be right with you, gang. I just want to take a couple of seconds to go over here and smash the F out of that like. Hey, I appreciate that, Bucho. Always smashing that like button. I appreciate that. Look, in case you didn't know, the like button helps the channel. Any review or any video that I do, any video that anyone does, if you appreciate that channel, there's a lot of ways that you can help support it. Of course, you can share, you can comment, you can subscribe, all that kind of stuff. But the like button really helps. The like button helps with the algorithm. It pushes it out to more people. And of course, the faster you can, like, for example, if I release a video at 11:30 a.m., if I've got so many likes by whatever time, YouTube will push that out to more people. So it's one of those things that I know that it's YouTube is kind of a passive thing. At least for me, it is. When I'm watching it on my big TV in there, but it is one of those things that can really help the visibility of that video, hence helping the channel out. And of course, there's all the memberships and the tips and all that kind of stuff too. But really, that's, of course, just viewing it is helping, but also, the likes and the comments and the subscribers and the shares and all that stuff, man, all that stuff helps. So, but thank you, Bucho. Thank you for putting that word out there. And now I'll say good day to you, Robbie. I'll also say good day to every one of you magnificents in the Order 42 Chattertron 2000 Deluxe Edition. See, Bucho knows what's up. Bucho knows that interacting with chat is part of the deal, So, thank you. Thank you. Also, PS2 allowed many to have a cheaper player compared to the standalone players. Absolutely, Shozama. DVD growth was stupid back in those days because we started getting all of our new releases on both formats. And then I think I've told this story. My store manager knew that I was like heavy into DVD. And so she said, go get the catalog and I want you to basically special order what you think we should have in the store for the what we called the favorites, not the new release, but the favorites, the older movies. And so we'll start building up our DVD library that way. And we started getting, from time to time, we would get, how, just like now, like Master and Commander is a movie from, what year is this? Oh. Of course I dropped it all the way down there. I want to say 2005? Well, that says 2025. That's not when the movie came out. Anybody know? I don't know if I can get this. I can't get that right now. I'd have to bend down. It would hurt. It would really hurt to get that. Well, I guess we can just look it up. Master and Commander. 2003. Okay, so basically, if this came out and Blockbuster was still around and they decided that they were going to carry this because, they, for whatever reason, this would not go on the new release wall in most cases. Like in this, what they would probably put this on the new release wall because there's a new release to 4K. But usually what they were doing in the DVD days is that they would get, The Fog. Let's just say, oh, The Fog just came out on DVD. Well, we wouldn't put it on the new release wall. We would just put it in line with the favorites, right? The older films. It would cost the same as a new release DVD would, but it would be in the favorites because it's an older movie, right? And it makes sense. You wouldn't look for The Fog on the new release wall. You'd look for it in the horror section, right? Yeah. I can't remember. Was The Fog I guess The Fog was considered a horror movie. Anyway, my point is, that's what would happen is we would from time to time, we would get new movies, new DVDs that would go in the favorite section. But then what I did is I basically I ordered a ton, and they were all movies that I wanted to see, or they were movies like I can't even think of any right now from that time period. But let's just say maybe an older movie that was on DVD that I didn't know if I wanted to buy, but I did want to watch it. So what I would do is when that would come in, I'd rent it as part of my 5 free rentals for the week. I would rent them, and yeah, I'd be able to basically enjoy all the content without having to spend a dime really, which was awesome. So, and then of course, that store got an influx of movies that a guy in the early 20s was interested in. So there you go. A little Master and Commander trivia for you guys. The original title of the movie was Boat Guys. I'm not sure if that's true, Bucho, but yeah, Boat Guys. It was I'm on a boat. That was the name of the movie. I'm on a boat. And that was years before, The Lonely Island did their. You often talk about your favorite Twitch streamers like your beloved Choco and Hallie. Who are your favorite YouTubesters? That's great, man. That is a great question, Bucho. I mean, we're all talking about like content, right? Not just movies, but stuff that yeah, content. I would say definitely the Y-Files. The Y-Files is, in fact, I think it was Melvor and Billy that were both telling me, man, you got to watch the Y-Files. And I ended up watching every single video on that channel. I really enjoyed the Y-Files because he'll take something like, UFOs, and it'll be a certain story from, whenever. And he'll talk about that story and build it up. And you're sitting there going, holy crap, man, this story's really cool. And then he'll go, he'll sit there and he'll go, but is it true? And he'll break down all the reasons why it may not be true. And some of them, he's able to basically present the story to you and then possibly debunk it for you. But then there's sometimes when he'll talk about something, he goes, I can't debunk this one. This one, there's no information, one way or the other. I'd like to believe it's true, but maybe not. And then maybe there's, a couple of stories about, alien abductions or a Bigfoot sighting or, different government operations, that have gone on behind the scenes. It's a great channel. I never miss a video of that. I also like, let's see. I mean, of course, Spawnwave. I love Spawnwave because every morning get that gaming news right off the bat. Bam. Of course, Robert Meyer Burnett. He's definitely one of my favorites. I watch Let's Get Physical Media, his weekly physical media show. I watch that every single week. If it's available, of course. Sometimes he's off doing something, but I really enjoy that. I do watch the John Campea show pretty regularly, depending on the topic. Dan Morrell, I like his reviews. I also like Jeremy Johns. He's pretty good. And Bucho, this was not a segue that you meant on purpose. But I will say, or maybe it was, and if so, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But there's also Chris Stuckman. And Chris Stuckman has been reviewing movies on YouTube for many, many years. And by the way, if you wonder, from somebody like me who isn't like the largest movie reviewer on the internet, I do not watch movie reviews before I've seen it. I do not, because I do not like to be, number one, I don't want to somehow assimilate what they've said and then in my own review say the exact same thing. I don't watch reviews because I don't want my own experience tainted by someone else's viewpoint. So there might be a movie. I'm just going to use Napoleon as an example because Napoleon's one of those movies that was not a whole lot of people liked it, including me. I don't think that movie is very good, but there were parts of it that I really liked. What I didn't want was having someone's take on the way Ridley Scott did Napoleon. I didn't want my experience tainted by their experience. Because they might be saying something that they might pick up on something that I would have missed. I can't think of a movie that actually happened with, because I know that there were times when I caught the movie much later, and the only reason I caught the movie is because of a review I watched. And sometimes that happens, but I try not to do that. But especially brand new movies, I don't do it at all, because you've got people like, okay, Weapons comes out Thursday. I will be going to see that at 2:17 p.m., which is the 2:17 a.m. is when all the kids, if you saw the trailer, 2:17 a.m. is when they disappeared. I think it's kind of cool that they're doing a 2:17 p.m. screening. Anyway, that's beside the point. There's already been full reviews of that out there on the internet, because there's been screenings, press screenings and all that kind of stuff. That's already happened. I will not watch them because I do not want my viewpoint messed with at all. So what I typically try to do is I'll go watch the movie, and then I will come straight home, do a review, and then I might record my thoughts on it. And then I'll, depending on the timing, at that, I might come home and eat after I do my review, but before I edit it and before I put it out. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the situation. But that's how I do things, because, I don't like my viewpoint tainted. And I think if anybody's going to watch my review, they want my take, right? Or at the very least, they might be clicking on the video because of something I say in the title or whatever. But they want a take, an original take. Now, there's been a couple of times when I've reviewed a movie, and then Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman or anybody else has reviewed a movie after I've reviewed it, and they've said almost the exact same thing that I said. Now, I'm not blaming them, but what it means is that if we are saying things very similarly, then that must mean that to me, that means it's a true thing. I don't think anybody's watching my videos and copying what I'm saying. But yeah, I think that's interesting when that happens. Or I'll be, what I'll typically do, and what I'll probably do for Weapons, is that especially if I like it, after I review it and I put it out, I'll watch everybody else's review just to see what they think. And sometimes they'll pick up on something that I just completely missed, or they'll say something that I'm like, I didn't catch that at all. And I find that really interesting. I find the subjectivity of movies in general, but art in general, really interesting. How two people can say the exact same thing and have completely different, viewpoints on it. So again, I don't need anybody else's viewpoint. I've got my own, and I've got my own way of thinking and my own way of judging whether a movie's good or not. So don't forget to hydrate between a couple of these subjects, Shozama. Great point. Great point. Great point. For press screeners, I like Film Threat for movies I'm on the fence for watching. Yeah, Film Threat is, I will say, they take a very no-nonsense kind of thing. They've leaned a little, for my taste, they've leaned a little too heavily into the anti-woke crowd. They tend to be really sensitive about those things, and I typically don't try to do that. Now, I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that when I've watched Film Threat in the past, that's usually what ends up happening is I'm like, I mean, I guess I can see how you took that, but see, I have the feeling that a lot of people, a lot of the anti-woke people, they will go in thinking that it's going to be this, and then they're looking for it the whole time. And I'm like, no. If something comes up naturally in the story, it's not woke. It's just that's the way the story went. Like, I mean, would you consider Terminator 2 woke because Linda Hamilton kicks ass in it? No. That is a regular progression of that character. That's what happened to that character to make her into a badass, right? Now, you could argue that some movies don't do that very well. And they make it, the Mary Sue kind of thing and all that. But I just don't. I try not to bring any of that crap into the theater when I'm sitting down to watch a movie. I'm going into a movie to be entertained. And if I'm entertained, I'm going to tell you why. And I can tell you why. I can tell you the things that I enjoyed and the things that I didn't. But I don't go into a movie hoping that it's going to be this and looking for woke stuff and all that stuff. And typically I don't care to comment on that anyway, because the way that I view it is completely different than somebody in that same group may view it completely differently. So to me, Film Threat is a little too, they look for things. But they do really well for themselves too, because the way that they title some of their videos, they sure do get a lot of views. And maybe that's what I should do, but I'm not doing that. But anyway, what I was trying to get to, which Bucho very well, he did this segue that he didn't even realize that he was doing. But I do appreciate certain movie reviewers. One in particular is Chris Stuckman. I do like him a lot. I find that he, for the most part, aligns pretty well with the way that I think. I like Jeremy Jahns as well. Even Christian Harloff. I agree with all of them, really. In most cases, sometimes I'm like, no, I think they're off on that or whatever. But that's dude, I disagree with Roger Ebert, and he's my favorite, critic of all time. I disagree with him many times. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't see the validity in some of the stuff that he was saying. Anyway, Chris Stuckman. You might remember that Chris Stuckman did a Kickstarter for his movie that he was going to write and direct. Well, we got the first trailer this week for Shelby Oaks. And this is the teaser poster for Shelby Oaks. And I got to say, I'm impressed. It looks like it's got potential. I don't know what the hell's going on in it. All I know is when it comes to setting the tone and the vibe, I was pretty impressed. I think he ended up raising $1.4 million, and then Neon picked it up. So Neon's going to be distributing the movie, and it's going to be executive produced by Mike Flanagan, who just did Life of Chuck, who did House on Haunted Hill. Haunted Hill? House on... Wait. What was it called? The House of Usher. He did that. But he's done a lot of the Stephen King adaptations. He did Dr. Sleep, which was amazing. So, very interesting. Very interesting. And I'm looking forward to this movie. But this also leads to another trailer that I saw that if you're on the Discord, you know what I'm talking about. Highest to Lowest. Now, here's the thing. Spike Lee's one of those directors I haven't always vibed with, right? I think he gets a little, in some cases, gets a little too preachy sometimes. He lets his viewpoint take over the storytelling to where it almost feels like, okay, am I watching a movie? Am I here to be entertained, or am I here to be preached to? Right? That being said, he's a fantastic filmmaker. Made some great movies over the years. Movies that I really enjoy. In fact, I like The Black Klansman. I liked 25th Hour. I liked... I just had it in my head. Inside Man. That was a good one too. But here's the thing. You've got the 5th movie with Denzel Washington called Highest to Lowest. Now, if you're an Akira Kurosawa fan, you might be interested that this is Spike Lee's take on the classic Kurosawa film High and Low, starring Toshiro Mifune. I'm very much looking forward to this. It's a new, fresh take at that same kind of story. I'm completely down. But then, you know, we got a little bit of spoonful of sugar with the idea of Spike Lee doing a Kurosawa remake with Denzel Washington. But then the medicine comes. Only in theaters August 15th, but then streaming on September 5th. So, well, but why though? But why though? Apple did an amazing thing by releasing F1 in theaters, right? And F1 has gone on to make a lot of money. But they seem to be crippling this movie before it even comes out. Because a 20-day, I guess 16 plus 5, okay, maybe 21 days, pretty much 20 days, right? That's stupid, man. Because you're completely hindering the possibility of this movie making any money. Now, that could be because they've seen it and they know that this movie is not going to make a lot of money. I don't know. All I know is that I see this and I go, damn it. But guess what? Guess who's going to see Highest to Lowest next week? This guy. Because I want to see this. And the trailer looks great. So yeah. But this also leads to something else. This little thing. Because what about, I mean, seriously, think about some of the people that you may know as a writer, okay? So somebody like, I don't know, Spike Lee as a writer, Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan as a writer. What about Shane Black? I love Shane Black. I think Shane Black is awesome. He's got a new movie coming out. Did you know? I didn't. And I'm excited. Holy crap. It's Shane Black. It's a movie called Play Dirty. You got Mark Wahlberg. But okay, it's Shane Black. And Lakeith Stanfield, who I think is great. In Shane Black's Play Dirty, follows a thief and his crew who come across a major heist that pits them against a South American dictator, the New York mob, and the world's richest man. Cool. Sounds awesome. But the problem is, if you go down here, well, okay, well, going straight to Prime Video on October 1st. Dang it. I wanted to see this, but it's going straight to Prime. Why? So basically, I mean, think about what we've got here. We've got Spike Lee. We've got Shane Black. And then, of course, we have David Fincher making the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel that's going direct to Netflix. All of them are it's streamers only. It's streamers only all the time when it comes to more original things. Now, you might say, well, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel isn't exactly something original. No, but it is more of an auteurist kind of viewpoint. It's not like an IP. There's not going to be 7 of these sequels. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing that some of our best and brightest artists out there They're doing stuff only for streamers. And it goes back to what Matt Damon said in that Hot Ones interview, which who knew that Hot Ones would be this amazing, look into, different like different celebrities and all that kind of stuff. I love Hot Ones. You want to talk about a YouTuber that I actually appreciate? Yeah, I appreciate the Hot Ones channel. But anyway, Matt Damon is talking about how those mid-budget kind of movies just don't get made by the studios anymore. It just doesn't happen. So you end up with all of these different directors that are saying, well, I guess the kind of movie, I don't want to make a comic book film. I don't want to make a Jurassic Park film. So I guess my choices are quit altogether or just make stuff for streaming. And that's what a lot of these directors are doing. That's just kind of the way it goes, So I don't know. If you really think about where the major creativity is happening, it's happening on streaming with a lot of these different television series. Some of these series have, some of them are better than others. Some of them feel like movies that have been stretched into, a series. And some of them actually feel like, wow, there's a lot of story here. And there's only one way that story could be told, and that's in a series. And I think some of the most exciting storytelling is being done in series right now, which is kind of a bummer. So when someone says, well, there's no original movies anymore, well, that's a very hyperbolic statement because there are definitely a lot of interesting movies coming out every single year. The problem is the studios are deciding to give them 20-day windows or just slapping them on the streaming service, before the movie even comes out. I don't understand it. I don't understand how they keep hobbling. It's almost like they want the theaters to fail, which I just don't get, because it basically, it gives you more revenue streams, because that's the thing. That's what used to happen when you had longer windows between, when a movie came out at the theater and then when a movie came out on home video. There was a long window, sometimes 6 months, sometimes longer. Sometimes it would be shortened to 90 days. But now we've got 20-day windows? I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand why they would basically cripple themselves. I just don't get it. Like after COVID, they should have said, okay, we're going back to 45-day windows again. This is ridiculous. And they should have just dealt with it. But no, they felt like they were, oh, well, we can put it on our own streaming service and then all the money comes directly to us. Yeah, but I don't know. You keep seeing these people, these streamers, they go up when their subscriber count, they go down, they up and down, up and down. I just can't see that putting a budget, a movie that would do well in the theaters. Why would you just put it on Netflix or put it on Prime or whatever? Why would you do that when you could, I don't know, put it in theaters, make some money, and then put it on your streaming service? And guess what? Because of all the marketing you did, people know about it and they look forward to it. And then they watch it when it comes on that. I just don't get it. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, you can thank Bucho for that segue, because that's basically what happened. Aside from you, Patrick Willems, and RLM, Harloff's the only other YouTube movie guy I check out regularly. I appreciate that. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't go as in depth as some of those guys, especially Patrick Willems. Holy crap. And Red Letter Media, because you've got multiple minds, you get multiple different takes. And everybody's got their way of reviewing a movie. I like to try to give a concise, quick, this is what the movie's like. This is because it's what I want. When I watch a review, depending on the movie, most of the time I just look, tell me what's good, tell me what's bad. Don't spoil it, and go from there. That's it. tell me what you thought. And that's what I try to do. I try to do it in a very concise way. Sometimes I get to talking about something that's important to my viewpoint, which makes it a little longer. But a lot of times, my reviews are like, I've got them down to like 6 minutes now, 6-7 minutes. I think that's pretty good. But it depends on the movie. It really does. Because sometimes there's things I need to discuss. So, anyway. Spike Lee, Well, Wraith. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Wraith. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. And again, I'm not 100% a Spike Lee, like I don't love everything Spike Lee's ever done, but he is a good filmmaker. He's got a unique vision. And this movie looks good. But honestly, as soon as I heard Spike Lee remaking Akira Kurosawa, I'm like, I got to see that. I got to see it. It could be Paul W.S. Anderson remaking Kurosawa, and I'd be like, crap, I got to watch that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be starring Mila Jovovich, or Jovovich, whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. She's going to be in it, but I guess I need to see it. So hopefully there's not a Paul W.S. Anderson Kurosawa film coming out. But anyway, because Apple will be better served to have highest to lowest on Apple to increase subscribers sooner than later. I don't. Maybe. But I still. The problem is, what you're doing is you're training the audience to go, oh, I only have to wait 20 days and I can just watch it at home. Okay. That doesn't help the theaters at all. It's a very short-sighted viewpoint. That is a short, to me, I mean, Shozam, I'm not saying that you're wrong. You're probably right. That's probably how Apple's looking at it. But that is a very short-sighted viewpoint. Because if you could make however much more money by keeping it in the theater for 30 days, because you're not just, you can't just look at, well, how much money does it cost us to keep it in a theater? Okay. But how much money is it going to cost you when now all of these people that might have gone to see it in the theater and pay money to see a new Spike Lee movie in the theater are now going to save their money because now they just have to wait 20 days? Like, I mean, I'm going to see it. I'm going to go see it, and because I believe in the movie experience. I believe in the theater experience. And yeah, I'll be spending more money. But that's because I love the movie theater experience. There's nothing like it. Seeing it at home is going to be a completely different experience than seeing it in a theater. That is a selfish way to look at it, for sure. But that's a very, very, they're not looking ahead. That we're training people to just get all their stuff at home, never go out to the theater, where most of the big money's could be made in the first place. Like, for some reason, they have this thing in their head that says, oh, well, if we just put it all out on streaming, we'll make $1 billion. You will never make $1 billion on your streaming service by putting everything that you have, like never having the movie theaters. You'll never do that. They'll never make that kind of money. So I just don't get it. I don't understand why. Oh, that's actually interesting. Look at this. I didn't see that. Look at this. Apparently they did a poll. 37 million are going to see it opening weekend. 2.3 thousand waiting until it's streaming. For this example. That's really interesting. I never noticed that before. What if I click on this? What will it show me? Oh, that's just the best of Reddit. Go back. How do you vote? How do you vote on that? I don't know, but that's kind of neat. I think this is neat right here. I mean, I doubt 37 million people are going to go watch that opening weekend. But I don't know. I just thought the other thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree with that viewpoint. Because if you do that with every movie that you don't think is going to be a blockbuster, well, then you're just basically saying we don't believe in these movies and we don't believe in our filmmakers and we don't believe that the theatrical experience is what we want. I just don't agree with that. I was listening on the road and I think it's impressive that you can write a review, record, and edit so quickly. KP Cindy, I appreciate that. But I've really gotten it down to a science. It's a pretty quick thing now. Like typically while I'm watching the movie, I'm making notes in my head of things that I want to talk about. But I have to be very careful because I've found myself getting distracted by my own thoughts rather than taking in the movie as it's meant to be seen. Because, I mean, how many times have you looked down, like been watching a movie for the first time on your TV or whatever, and you look down at your phone for something and then you look up and you're like, what the hell happened? Where the hell are we? You know, has that ever happened? Yeah, it happens to me in the theater. We don't want that. So yeah, I feel like I owe it to the movie and the crew and the cast and everybody involved in making the movie. I owe it to them to give it my full attention. So I don't pick up my phone. I don't have discussions with people. I don't get up to go to the bathroom. I don't do anything to disturb anyone. And I try to lock in because I feel like the movie experience is sacred. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I come home, I'll quickly notate my stuff. Sometimes what's happened a couple of times is if it's far away, I know it's going to be 45 minutes to an hour before I get home. I'll record a quick voice note thinking about my thoughts immediately after I've left the theater so that when I get home, I can go, oh yeah, I forgot about that, you know, and just make sure that I have everything that I want to talk about. Because there's been so many times when I've hit publish, right? I go over and I write my little tweet saying, hey, I watched this movie. You should go watch it. Whatever, right? And as I'm writing that, the thing's up already. I've sent the tweet or the post, whatever you call it now, Twitter X, whatever that is. And I go, damn it. I forgot to talk about this. I forgot to mention this thing, you know, and because sometimes I don't want to talk about all the extremes, but sometimes there's something that really sticks out. And then there's been many times where I've published my review and it's gotten so many views or whatever, and I watch someone else's review and they'll mention something and I'll go, huh, I didn't even think of that. Or I forgot to talk about that. I won't realize it until I watch it in somebody else's review and I'm like, crap, I could have said that and that would have been in my review. But no, I forgot. So anyway, I try to do it because memories fade pretty quick. And especially depending on the movie, some of them are a little more forgettable than others. So I try to get my thoughts out as quickly as possible. Now, sometimes it hasn't really happened much because my attention span when it comes to movies is greater now. Like it's more honed now. But I can't think of a time that I've reviewed a movie on the channel and then the next day gone, I feel differently about that now. Doesn't really happen. I mean, what's happened before is that I've gone to see the movie again and then I'm like, holy crap, that's even better than I thought it was. But that's pretty rare. And why just one platform? Well, KP Senti, the whole point of streaming services is because, you know, for example, HBO Max. Well, HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. So guess what? When they put Sinners on HBO Max, they don't have to pay anyone. And they get 100% of the money from all of the subscribers to HBO Max. Warner Brothers gets all that money. Now, if they license it to Netflix, Netflix is typically like the catch-all. If they license it to Netflix, it's not always the case. Netflix and Hulu. But if they license it to Netflix, Netflix makes money from all of the subscribers, but then they have to pay part of that money to whoever has licensed the movie to them. So if Warner Brothers has licensed to them Sinners, which they haven't, but if they had, Warner Brothers wouldn't have to pay anything to get it out there so people could see it. They would get a portion of the revenue from all of those subscribers that Netflix gets because of the metrics on Sinners. So Netflix makes a deal to license a lot of their content. But you've noticed that over however many years, Netflix has been making more and more and more exclusive content, because that means that if somebody's coming to watch, for example, Arcane. Arcane is a great example. It's a Netflix exclusive thing. You can't watch it anywhere else. I mean, you can buy the 4K and the Blu-rays now, but you can't watch that series, stream the series anywhere else. If somebody, and I'm sure there's algorithms and all kinds of metrics that show this, but if somebody signs up to Netflix and the first thing they watch is Arcane, and they can look at the watch time and they can see, oh my God, they binged all of Arcane. Well, guess what? They can see the benefit in keeping Arcane on their service because somebody signed up to Netflix just to watch that. So, another example, The Office, Friends, right? Seinfeld, huge Parks and Rec. Those are shows that people love to watch, and they love to binge, and they love to watch it over and over and over and over. Well, when The Office left Netflix, I don't know where The Office is now, but at one point, The Office left Netflix. It was like one of their most watched bingeable shows that they had. It went over to Peacock, because Peacock is owned by Universal. Universal and NBC are basically, in cahoots. So NBC Universal, they got all the money now from all the people wanting to watch The Office. Now, how many people quit Netflix and then joined Peacock because they wanted to watch The Office? I don't know the answers to those questions. There's probably all kinds of reports and things that they run that show, hey, when we lost this show, we lost this many subscribers. Monthly, we lose this many subscribers. Monthly, we gain this many subscribers. Of the new subscribers that join, these are the number one shows. These are the shows that they watch, or these are the movies that they watch. So there's probably all kinds of records on that kind of crap. But that's how it works, is that you've got HBO Max, which is Warner Brothers. You've got NBC Universal that owns Peacock. You've got Hulu, which is majority owned by Disney, but licenses a lot of their stuff, right? A lot of the stuff that's on TV will come onto Hulu so that you can watch or whatever. But it's mostly Disney owned properties. And of course, Disney Plus, which is kind of a, here in America, it was different because Disney Plus was its own thing. Hulu was majority owned. There was no majority owner, and it was Disney, Universal, and someone else. I can't remember who. But then you've got Paramount Plus. So any Paramount movies that come out, they go on Paramount Plus. You get to watch them for free, and Paramount gets 100% of the profits from you signing up to Paramount Plus to watch Mission Impossible or Top Gun, right? So that's just the way it works. And it's always worked. I mean, well, it didn't always work that way. Netflix was really the only game in town for a while. And they were making however much money from all the licensing, that they would buy The Office, because they know that a lot of people are going to binge The Office over and over and over, and they're going to keep their account so they can pop on The Office whenever they want, when they're going to bed or whatever. They're just going to watch it over and over and over. And then they'll pay a portion of those fees back to Peacock or back to NBC Universal. That's how that works. And that's the reason why there's so many freaking streaming services. It's because each studio looked at it and went, oh my God, we can make 100% of the money instead of just a portion of the money that Netflix brings in? Huh. The problem is they've diluted their own in a lot of ways. They've made it just like cable was, where you know, if you want to watch this hit show, well, you've got to be subscribed to this channel. And then if you know, or this streaming service. It's just it's a cycle. And they're just now learning that maybe jumping into streaming wasn't the best idea. Now, Sony never opened up their own streaming service. Now they own Crackle, which was like a free thing. I don't know if anybody ever watched Crackle. I think I watched Crackle maybe once or twice because a certain specific thing that I wanted to watch was, oh my God, you can just watch it on crackle.com or whatever the hell it was. Anyway, Sony never said, hey, we're going to do our own streaming service. No. All of their movies, they licensed to Netflix. It was almost like an exclusive deal. So basically what that meant is they didn't have all the overhead. They didn't have to pay for servers and all that kind of stuff. All they had to do was basically license their stuff and then just sit back and let the money roll in from Netflix. Instead of trying to... a lot of the studios thought, okay, we have our own infrastructure. We put that infrastructure in place and then it's just all profit. But they didn't realize that a lot of people, what they do is that they only subscribe for the month so that they can binge all the stuff on that one streaming service, jump ship and go to a different one. They just thought people were just going to pay forever. And it just doesn't work that way. So anyway, that was a very long drawn out thing, but there you go. It really is exactly like the video game industry. And PlayStation and Xbox was first to realize that, oh my God, we can make more money if we just give it to everybody. And PlayStation has started to do that too. Nintendo's the only holdout that says, hey, if you want to play if you want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza, you got to have a Switch too. Period. There's no getting an Xbox and finagling this, which also, if you think about it, it's also the reason why they're going after people that pirate that stuff. You know, so when people are, distributing copies of whatever game for the Switch, but putting it on, so that people with a Steam Deck or whatever can play it on there, you can tell why they're going after that. Because they really should be the only place, a Switch should be the only place, in their mind, should be the only place that you can play that thing. The studios look at that stuff the same way. But that's just a thing. That's just a thing. Anyway, I'm way behind. So, Fincher being small screen is one of the things that hurts the most. Dude is such a visual stylist. The big screen deserves him. I wanted to see The Killer in the theater so bad, and I think at that point when The Killer came out, it was only screening in like a couple of theaters, and it wasn't in my area. So it was really a bummer. I mean, I still like The Killer, but at the same time, I was kind of like, that wasn't the best movie, but... The food broadcasting channel where they're in a black room eating chicken wings. You're talking about Hot Ones? Yes. But yeah, the Matt Damon, when he's talking about the way that, his bread and butter in the 90s and the 2000s were those mid-budget kind of movies. And now those mid-budget movies they say, well, you're not going to get a huge theatrical release. We're just going to put it direct on streaming. Or we might give you 20 days. It's just like, man, damn. And the reason it doesn't happen is because DVD was where they made their later money. Streaming took its place. Yeah, but they're not treating it the same. They're not giving streaming the chance to benefit from the theatrical run. They think, oh, well, we'll make more money just putting it on. I would, in fact, you know what we should do? I should do a poll. How many times have you rented a movie for $20 or more? How many people actually do that? I've done it twice. I've done it twice. I did it for Raya and the Last Dragon because it was the only way that you could watch that. And I think I did it for Black Widow. That's the only time I've ever done that. How do they think that? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's stuff that I don't know, and maybe more people are doing that than I thought. But I'm not paying $20 to rent a movie to watch in my living room when I can just wait a couple of weeks. Just not doing that. But that's what they think, and they think the sooner we put it at home, the more money we'll make. But that doesn't work that way. And there have been studies that have shown that if you put something in the theater and give it a theatrical run, it will actually make money, and then you'll make more money when it comes to streaming later. But it's all very, very short-term thinking. And they're looking at, I mean, look at some of the movies they choose to greenlight. Not greenlit. Greenlight's past tense. Greenlight is present tense. But look at some of the movies they choose to greenlight. It's based off of algorithms and surveys, and you know what I mean? I don't know. The other thing that is not as big is pay-per-view. Well, yeah. But I mean, pay-per-view played a part too. Because there was actually a pay-per-view window. That pay-per-view would be the intermediary. That's not even the correct term. Usually, like, there'd be a movie that comes out, typically. Movie comes out at the movie theater. There could be a 45 to 90 degree window between that and then when it would go to from video to pay-per-view. And then there would be another window from pay-per-view to then HBO or the major movie channels. So there were all these steps where they could make money. And what they did is that they got rid of a lot of those steps. It's literally like taking part of your revenue and just saying, we're not doing that anymore. Well, that doesn't make any sense. From a studio standpoint, you take a movie that you believe in, right? As a studio, you believe in this movie. You've spent the money to make it. You've marketed the hell out of it. Well, give it its due. Give it a chance. Give it a chance to make all this money in different spots, right? That's why, I don't know if you notice this, but if you're a physical media collector, you see this all the time. It'll come out on digital way before it comes out on physical media. Like a brand new movie in a lot of cases. And that's because they're thinking of that as some sort of window. Like there's a direct connection. But there's not. There's really not. And the windows are so short. Why would I rent the movie pay-per-view? Why would I rent the movie for this price when if I wait a month, I can just get the whole disc on, I'll have it on disc forever. And it comes with a digital code. It just doesn't make sense. The studio thinking is more short-term thinking than long-term thinking. And they don't understand the damage they continue to do to the theatrical experience by shortening these windows like this. And they may Apple may be looking at highest to lowest as a specific example of this movie's not going to do well for us, so we're only going to give it a 20-day theatrical window. But the problem is, by continuing to do these very, very short windows, the whole industry as a whole is suffering. Because now people are conditioned to think, oh, well, if I just don't go see it in the theater, they'll put it out on streaming and I won't have to wait as long and blah, 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 blah. Universal, remember? Universal did a thing during COVID where it was like a 21-day window for everything. 21 days. I mean, how many of you could wait 3 weeks to see a movie? Most movies come out and you're like, I don't care. I'll just wait 3 weeks, right? Instead of having a 3-month to 6-month window. Now, there's probably a better timing there from back in the day, because a lot of times when the movie would come out on video, you'd be like, oh crap, I forgot about that movie even existing, right? But what I'm trying to say is a 21-day window is not long to wait. That's why Universal was really, really hurting during COVID, because a lot of their movies were tanking, because everybody, the people that knew, were like, well shit, why would I go spend $15 to go see it in a theater and possibly get COVID when I can just wait 3 weeks and get it at home? I don't know. You're the only movie YouTuber I watch. Well, KP Senti, I appreciate that. But here's the thing. I don't know everything. I'm just a dude. I'm just a fan, And yeah, I have some points of view that are probably pretty unique, but I'm not the only one. And there's probably better ones out there. Who knows? Have we now hit a point with movies that we miss studios like Miramax? Miramax is still making movies. It's just not owned by the Weinstein brothers anymore, or the Weinsteins anymore. It's just not owned by them anymore. But you're right. Smaller productions, more story driven, less Harvey. Yes. But yeah, it's Miramax still exists. In fact, I think Miramax made Strange Darling, if I'm not mistaken. So that was last year. What's up, Ninjinzu? Good to see you. That's not a pull for the movie. I don't play with my phone during a movie, so no. Are you sure it's not a pull for the movie? I don't know. Those stats on the side are for the whole Reddit. They just have it labeled funny on new Reddit. 37 million is. That's not how that. KP Senti, that's not how they're. 37 million seeing it opening weekend. Waiting until it's streaming. I don't understand what. Then what does this mean? There's no way 37 million people are going to see it opening weekend, because that would be a really, really good opening weekend for whatever Play Dirty. But why is this here then? I don't understand why that's there. It would be cool. They should do that for every movie post, but they don't. They probably wouldn't do that. I just thought people did that for TV shows and movies went. Oh crap! And movies just went all platforms. No, nope. It depends. Sometimes a big movie, they will license it to Netflix, or they will license it to Hulu or whatever. In fact, there'll be some months. I have a Just Watch. Have you ever messed with justwatch.com? Because it's kind of cool, because you can search for a movie and it'll tell you all the places it's streaming. So for example, let's see. Let me pull up Just Watch. All right. Now let's think of a pretty popular movie. Okay, Troy. Troy, you can see here, I have I'm in the US. I have US pulled up. It's available to stream on AMC Plus if you have that, to rent to Apple TV or Fandango at home, and you can buy it digitally on those. So it shows you where you can watch this stuff. So if you, let's see. Trying to think of a movie that is always on streaming somewhere. Let's just do Blade Runner. Let's just see where Blade Runner is streaming. Oops, spelled it wrong. Blade Runner. Okay, it's not streaming anywhere. Great. Great example, Rob. Great example. Mm, 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 mm. Goonies. Okay, so it's okay. So there's no streaming for Goonies right now because it's playing in theaters again. Okay, bad example. Bad example. Trying to think of one of those mid. Okay, Fargo, the movie Fargo. Okay. Oh, here we go. So look at how many times. Look at how many places it's streaming. Fubo, MGM Plus, the Roku channel, MGM Plus, Canopy, which is a library service, Hoopla, which is a library service, regular MGM Plus, and Philo, which I don't know what that is. But then you can buy it, rent it, or buy it if you don't have any of those streaming services. So basically what I'm trying to say is yeah, sometimes that happens. But then I was hoping for a different example. Kronos? See, it looks like it's streaming on a whole bunch of stuff, but it's really only on Hulu and HBO Max and the Criterion channel. Or wait, no, it's really just the Criterion channel and HBO Max, because this is a bundle right here. You see that? So that's a bad example. Anyway, you get my point, I think. That depending on the movie and depending on the TV series, they can license it out to multiple different people all at once. So that movie might be viewable on Netflix. Like it may be a Warner Brothers movie, but it's on Netflix, HBO Max, and regular like Hulu all at the same time. So if you're subscribed to any of them, you can watch it, or Amazon Prime. And that just happens a lot. It just depends on the movie. Flank steak, potatoes, cream spinach. Last night I went to a Mexican food place, and I had crab and avocado enchiladas with a roasted pepper cream sauce. It was all right. It wasn't that good. I should have just gotten like regular enchiladas and a taco and a tamale and been done. But I was like, I want something different. I almost got the grilled mahi mahi, but I'd never eaten the mahi mahi there. And I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money. It was okay. Huge drop off my usage of Netflix after that. Of course, yeah. Paramount is the only way to watch Star Trek. Sometimes. I've seen Star Trek on Amazon Prime before. I miss having linear TV. But see, here's the thing though. Cable did the exact same thing. You know, there would only be, but it was a little different, but made movies, like more recent movies, would do the same thing between HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, blah, 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 right? And then, but once it went on regular cable, you could just go to whatever. But Sony has a new streaming service called Sony Pictures Core that can buy or rent them or see part of them with PlayStation Plus Premium. I don't know if I would trust them at all since they already shut down the previous one. Just saying. People do them when they have kids or older parents or a group of friends over. Oh, you're talking about the $20 ones? Maybe that's my problem, is I don't have enough friends. That may be a thing. I don't know. Drama Cat Plays, welcome. I remember wanting to get Mortal Kombat Annihilation on pay-per-view, but I was too young to afford it. See, I think with, Annihilation on pay-per-view. See, I remember when because HBO Max did the whole thing with their new movies throughout the pandemic. The 1 year of, they would just go straight, like day and date. So you could either go see it in the theater, you could risk your life going into the theater to watch the movie, or you could just watch it at home on HBO Max. And what I did is, because I was so excited about Dune, I hadn't even seen the movie yet. I paid for a ticket and then just watched it at home, because I couldn't have gone to I don't know. I might have been able to go to the theater, but I'm immunosuppressed and all that stuff. And they were telling, at that point in the pandemic, they were all like, all my doctors were like, you need to stay home. Like, you shouldn't even be going to get groceries. Like, you should stay home. I was like, all right. Anyway, I'm on old Reddit and it's the same numbers. Oh, yeah, that's dumb. 37 million users sub to movies. That's dumb. I don't like that. Well, then why do they market like that? Netflix also reinvigorates some movies that didn't do well initially. Yes, but again, that's very, very rare. And I mean, here's the thing. Any movie has the potential to go viral, because of whatever, right? I mean, what was it's kind of like the thing that happened with that Stranger Things song. Running Up That Hill. I'll be honest, man, I'd never heard that song before. Never. I'd never heard the song before. I didn't know anybody who was a fan of whoever she was. But she made I don't know how much money off of everybody streaming that song all of a sudden, buying it on iTunes and whatever, Spotify and all that kind of stuff, right? Just because of Stranger Things. So you never really know what's going to go viral and when and why. Um, but yeah, Terminator 2. Okay, great example. Nope, that's just on Paramount Plus. 28 years later. That one's a brand new movie and it's not streaming anywhere yet. You can rent it, but you can't stream it. Saw Naked Gun, funny movie. Yes. I really enjoyed Naked Gun, man. I enjoyed it a lot. Holy crap, we got a tie. Okay. If you haven't voted, you have to vote right now. You have to vote. Apple strudel, peanut butter cookie custard, toffee pudding. Somebody vote. Somebody vote and break the tie. And if by the time I get caught up, if we haven't broken the tie, I'll break the tie. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick one of the ones that nobody picks. Yeah. Just watch me. Just Watch doesn't post Google Play, Sony Pictures Core, or Kaleidoscape. Well, they don't? At all? Really? I thought they used to. There's Google Play, right? Well, it's okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, above Ballard. Why is this freaking stupid thing above Ballard? Google Play, YouTube, Paramount Plus. It's right there. And I thought Kaleidoscape is on there. Sony Pictures Core. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. But one of the things is you can sign up for an account and then you select. So like, for example, if I said, I've got Netflix, I've got Prime, I've got Disney Plus, I've got HBO Max, right? This will show me all the popular stuff in those things. Then you can say, I just want movies. And you can say, hey, Sinners. I can want, because I've subscribed to Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, and Hulu, or an HBO Max, or whatever I said, I can watch all of these movies right now, which is cool. And then you say, oh, well, what are the hot TV shows that I can watch? Here you go. But that's actually kind of interesting. I thought there was more. Anyway, Just Watch is awesome, though. I really enjoy it. If you're missing linear TV and want to see various series, you can watch on Pluto TV they have several dedicated Star Trek. They have several dedicated Star Trek channels. Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, Pluto TV is pretty cool. And I have it built into my TV, I think. And I can just like watch one of their channels and they have all kinds of stuff. They're like, "Oh, here's I don't know, Mayberry RFD." And they're just going to stream it all day and you can just watch them, and that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, results time. Yep. Well, I got caught up and nobody's picked one. So I'm going to end the poll. And look at there. Between apple strudel and peanut butter custard. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick apple strudel because half of you guys, or well, some of you guys, oh, you want me to do a coin flip? All right. Or you know what? I'll do the whatever you call it. Picker wheel. Picker wheel? Yeah. Apple strudel. And what's the other one? Peanut butter cookie custard. PBCC. Bam. Spin. Oh my gosh. There you go. That's what happened. Maybe I should just do that to begin with. It's just much less hassle. But yeah, there you go. Peanut butter cookie custard won. So there it is. I can't believe nobody wanted to break the tie. Oh well. All right. This is where it's going, by the way. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Ready to go. Freshly wicked. You already voted. It's okay. It's all right. You know, these things happen. The only reason I was going to go for the apple strudel is because I already have a peanut butter one going. But you know what? Dude, we're going to have peanut butter up against peanut butter pretty soon because I think I have like 2 or 3 more peanut butter flavors in there because I'm a peanut butter freak. Okay. So get off my back about it. All right. Smells amazing. Oh, wait. Come on. Dude, why does Discord have to update 78 updates every time I open this? Can you just not open? Please? Anyway. Eight updates. Why? What the hell are you updating, Discord? It looks exactly the same every time I open it. Is it more ways that you can peer into my life or something? What are you doing? Rob, why are you so bent out of shape? All right. Jeez, man. Jeez. What is going on? Okay, why is this not... Because y'all couldn't hear that, right? That's not coming through my my audio anymore. Why? Desktop application audio capture? From Discord? Okay, let's see if this works. That's right. Off the Nuck. Mega Nuck. Robert, I don't know if you're still here, but man, this one's for you. I don't know why, but you're just who I thought of. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. I'll say this. Sometimes off the Nuck, it can be very different. It can be very different than what actually gets vaporized. At first, there was a very almost medicine-y kind of off-putting flavor, and then it got really sweet. So the thing is, I don't know what this is going to taste like. You and I are going to find out together because that's the way it goes. But yeah, oops. Little bit of drippage there. Drip down the side. All right, let's turn the sucker on. Because you don't want to, you don't want to burn the cotton by, clicking the button and then it burns all your cotton and then all you taste is burnt cotton butthole. Right? That's not a thing. Cotton butthole is not a thing. Anyway. We're getting some vapors. There we go. All right. So now it's a weird flavor. It could be really good, could be really bad, but we're about to find out. Okay, get on there. Okay. Screw this down. Screw this down all the way. Take the top off. See, there's little holes there. Little fill holes. Not fill as in PHIL, like Philip or Filbert. Fill holes. FILL holes. Holes that you fill with your tip. I don't know, I'm kind of getting dirty here and I didn't mean to. But there you go. Filling it up. And now, top goes on. Screw this down. Airflow's open. We're at 75 watts. Let's go. Look at that 2-1B in the chat there. That's awesome. Let's turn this on medium. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but my old table, which only the people that were watching me on Twitch remember the old table. But here's my my remote control for my fan and my light, one of the lights. But I had this on there because I had Velcro on the bottom of the table so I could just go, pop right there. But I kept knocking off my knee, and that kind of sucked. So I stopped doing it anyway. But that's what that's for, just in case you were wondering. Anyway, let's give this another shot. Here's the thing. I'm not getting a lot of peanut butter. It tastes like kind of a cookie, but it almost tastes... It actually smells really good. But I'm not quite getting... I'm getting a weird flavor in there. Okay, wait a minute. Another drink. I love how Discord is a web app. Yeah, but why does it freaking take so long to open? Well, I have a standalone app for my Mac. I don't get it. There was no Zen option. Well, Shazama, I mean, Zen is a thing. There's actually a new one, and it supposedly it uses a lot of like really interesting stuff. Like, I don't know. I basically what it was that they sent me it was one of those things where you have to sign up to get access, and then they opened up access, and I tried to order something and everything was sold out, and I was like, oh well, okay. I guess I'm not buying that. But it's like, it's a new company, and they're not connected to one of the big tobacco companies. So I wanted to try it, and I don't know, I couldn't. Everything sold out, so there's nothing I can do about it. But I actually do like the snus quite a bit. In fact, on my trip to South whichever South Carolina I went to, right? Yeah. When I went to South Carolina, I would, instead of being able to vape in the car, I mean, you can imagine this would probably be pretty disastrous for somebody trying to drive. God, I can't see. You know what I mean? I would pop in one of those. I have some kind of snooze. I think it's called On. Pretty good. Pretty good. Low nicotine, and it lasts for like 30 minutes. Not bad. Okay. That's pretty good. This is pretty good. It's pretty good. Not Gary. Oh my gosh, not Gary. I haven't seen you in weeks. How are you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. And I hope all that you had business things going on. I hope all that worked out great for you. And you're all like, wee, I hope everything's going great. So, Alp, huh? What is Alp? I don't think I can pull this up on the Alps. Okay, Alps pouches. I don't think I can pull this up on the on the stream because they don't like showing where things are available or whatever. Okay. I've never heard of this. They have lots of flavors. I am 21. I don't need 10% off my first order because I'm just looking right now. Get off my back, man. Jeez. Bam. Oh, look at that. I can get I can get out patches delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. I don't know where that is. But hey, whatever. I just wanted to see what flavors. Let me see the flavors. Chilled mint, mountain wintergreen. Is there a difference between regular wintergreen and mountain wintergreen? Refreshing chill, sweet nectar, tropical fruit. See, okay. I will say this. This is kind of annoying. I clicked on sweet nectar to see what the hell does that mean. And it says finally available for now. Sweet nectar has landed. What the hell does that mean? What is the flavor? What does that mean? Sweet nectar means it could be anything. It could taste like sweet booty. Doing super well. Super busy, but super well. Business things have been interesting to say the least. Glad to be back on here. Not Gary. Man, it's good to see you, man. Hey, Rob, can you say hi, Remy? Hello, Remy. How's it going? It's good to see you. And, do me a favor and punch Ricky right in the shoulder for me. I don't know. You don't have to do violence. You don't have to do any of the violence. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hello. But no, I mean, I'd be down to try it. To try the old Alps if it's available, actually available somewhere. Basically, I'll try anything once. That sounds... You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. It's 9 p.m. I've been, been streaming a bit, 2 hours. I've been drinking a lot of liquids, thanks to Shozama. Maybe I should have something in there that you guys can go, hey, go make sure you drink the thing. I mean, don't we have, yeah, we have Hydration Bear. But he only comes up when I ask him to. And I mean, we do have Bucho, but he's not really all about the hydration. I mean, he might be, but he just looks like he's having a good time. Standing there, completely still, in New Zealand, wearing the original unsold Order 42 shirt. So yeah. But look, I have to use the little boys' room real fast. So I'll be right back, okay? Be right back! Not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Peanut butter cookie custard. Interesting. It's interesting. Hydration is good. Yeah, it is. It sure is. The baño? What is baño? I don't know what that means. But Bonobo Juice, welcome. Good to see you. New King of the Hill isn't bad either. Hey. Did I read the cool movie news? Wraith, we're about to get into the news. So, hey, just hold on a bit. Just hold on a second. Let's see if I cover it. And if not, I'll let you cover it. Hey, the bathroom is good. The bathroom is good. You know, wash the hands, you know. Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say. Baño. I don't know what is that? What is the baño? I don't know what that is. Safety. Yeah, safety. So, okay, we're going to go through this pretty quick. Oh, the bathroom. Ah. Yes. Gotcha. We're going to go through the news pretty quick. But I did want, there is some things. A stir of confusion. Yes. Regret and confusion was had by all. Maybe not all. But this was interesting. I didn't know about this until today. Audible basically doing a, you know, like a new take on Harry Potter, the whole series, and apparently they're already like pretty much done with it. But you've got Hugh Laurie as Dumbledore, you have Matthew McFadden, I don't know how to exactly say his name, but he's awesome. The second one there as Voldemort, and Riz Ahmed as Snape. These are all voices now. And Arabella Stanton, who is playing Hermione Granger in the HBO's upcoming TV series, will also voice the character in the first 3 audiobooks. That's kind of cool. If you're an Audible person, this might be something that, you know, you can just get for free, kind of. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, a chorus of more than 200 voices ranging from young newcomers to Hollywood stars will bring new life to all 7 of the Harry Potter book series, J.K. Rowling's book series, and a new production for Audible. The first audiobook in the bunch, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, is dropping in November. I mean, I just thought that was kind of neat. I didn't know they were doing that. Oh, dude, Succession, man, Matthew is so good in that. I mean, he's been good for a long time and a lot of, I would say an underappreciated actor. I really like him. But yeah. Look, I'm interested. Hugh Laurie as Dumbledore. That's really interesting, and I really kind of wonder if it's going to be how accurate it's going to be, because it's not going to be the whole. It's not like they're going to do the whole series, right? It's going to be like dramatized. So I would be interested to hear what it's like. But yeah, can't wait to hear Hugh Laurie's version of "Oh Harry, grab your torch, Harry." Oh, Harry. Yeah, sorry. That's an old switched on thing. I used to do that. Oh, Harry. And then they're like, who's going to play Hagrid? You know? That's important. Hagrid plays especially in that first book. He plays a major part in the first book. But yeah, I'm interested. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think that J.K. Rowling, you know, there's some things we just don't need to know. I don't need to know where you stand on every single issue, because all it does is divide your audience depending on where you yourself stand on said issue. I don't need to know all those standpoints. But what I will say is that as a reader, the Harry Potter series is probably one of my favorite reading experiences I've ever had. It was rewarding. I got into it. I've told this story before, but I got into it um just before Order of the Phoenix came out. So I Prisoner of Azkaban, I'd seen the first two movies and was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And then I watched Prisoner of Azkaban, and Alfonso Cuarón's direction in that movie made me fall in love with the world. And I loved the whole world of Harry Potter. All of a sudden, it made me love everything about it. So I started reading the books. And then I started listening to the audiobooks, listened to some of Jim Dale, and then I said, Jim Dale's okay. But then I hear Stephen Fry does the British version. And the British version is more accurate because, sweater and jumper. It's not the Sorcerer's Stone, it's the Philosopher's Stone. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to read the original. So I acquired by certain means the Stephen Fry takes on everything, and I would listen to them on repeat. I'd go through each of the book and then start over again, and I really love it. And then Order of the Phoenix came out, devoured that, loved that, and then you know what I mean. So it's like I was there in the middle of the fandom, happening, all the stuff happening. Got spoiled for the basically the big spoiler in Half-Blood Prince. Got spoiled for me. And then, but it didn't matter because it wasn't so much what happened, it was how it happened. And that was more interesting than just knowing what happened. So I still love the book. And then 7 came out and I loved that. And then the movies got in my opinion, got progressively worse and worse to where it just I kind of got tired of the series. And then J.K. Rowling opening her mouth on every topic, and it's just like, I don't care, and you're making this not fun anymore. Like I wish I didn't know all this about you, and I don't know. So I lost my taste for reading the books again and again and again. But then I read The Dark Tower, and The Dark Tower Dark Tower is great too. I love The Dark Tower. So anyway, my point is, I'm still interested in a new take on Harry Potter, and it'll be interesting to see if this Audible series is good. And I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the HBO series. So, yeah, if he doesn't say, "Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?" then it's not good. But that's exactly my problem. That right there is exactly my problem. That's not what happened. In the book, he's instead of him being all angry about it, he's more like, that's funny. Well, Harry, did you actually put your name in there? And he's like, no, I didn't. And he's like, isn't that crazy? Like the whole thing about Dumbledore is that he's flippant and he comes off as not caring, but he's just, unless it's like absolute danger sitting right in front of you, he's completely flippant about it. About everything. And he's a wonderful character in that way. Having him throw Harry against the wall and ask him, "Did you put your name?" That goes against everything that Dumbledore is. And it was just like, why is this is not right. Now, the way that he played him in Prisoner of Azkaban, because that's when we got Gambon, Michael Gambon, right? Because Richard Harris died between Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban. So Prisoner of Azkaban was the first time we got Dumbledore, and he's much more like Dumbledore in Prisoner of Azkaban. But then for some reason, they were like, just go against all of what J.K. Rowling has written about Dumbledore and make him into this prone to anger thing. Like, that's not Dumbledore, man. So anyway. Did you put your ween in the Goblet of Fire? That would have been weird if he'd done that. Like, I put my balls on it. That's it. I didn't do anything else. I just put my balls on it. See those 2 prints? Those are ball prints. Harry, why would you... Oh, Harry, why would you do such a thing? Whoa. But anyway. This next item is just interesting. This is not one of those things where I'm like, man, I need to see this. But I mean, it's movie news, right? Mel Gibson splits his Passion of the Christ sequel into 2 movies, sets 2027 release date. So we're going to get double the Christ in 2027. Now, again, I thought Passion of the Christ was actually really good. Like, it's a really good movie. I enjoyed watching it. I don't know. That's a thing. Oh, and that top story up there, Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver fighting in Marriage Story is being used by the USDA to scare off wolves. I think that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I don't know anything about this Jay Blades, but that's a thing. Hey. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Two Christ, Two Furious. That's what they should have called it. Yeah. Hell yeah. And the third movie should have something to do with the Trinity. You know? Right? That's, I mean, look. To me, half of a movie's success is the marketing, right? You got to have a good movie, but you have to actually market it well too. So they ought to call you. Mel Gibson is a great director. I mean, he really is. He's good. He's really good. So, I mean, look, he's definitely had his issues as well. But, I mean, that's a thing. That is a thing. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Close that. Get back over here. Thank you. And you get off. Thank you. Here's the next news item. Matt Smith is going to be the villain in Lucasfilm's new Starfighter movie starring Ryan Gosling. You can never have bad... I mean, it doesn't matter how good or bad the movie is. Casting is definitely important. Right? So hopefully this means that this is going to be, good. This is going to be good. So yeah. There you go. That is just so weird because it doesn't really taste like peanut butter to me. It tastes like something else. I don't know what it is. We'll have to get there. But that's pretty interesting. Also, there's this news. Leonardo DiCaprio may be in Michael Mann's sequel to Heat, entitled, wait for it, Heat 2, or 2 Heat 2 Furious, whatever. Yeah. The problem is, he estimated the budget for this movie was going to be $200 million, and Warner Brothers balked at that. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. The third one should be Heat with a 3. Yeah, exactly. Leo growing in his Jack Nicholson face years. I mean, for sure. But man, he's still good. He's still good. I'm still looking forward to One Battle After Another. But yeah, he says that he just finished the screenplay and handed in the first draft. But apparently, they want DiCaprio for it. I don't know. This will be interesting. It will definitely be the first time that DiCaprio has acted with Michael Mann. I think that would be amazing. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, this is one of those things where it's kind of like, look, it's not really news, but it's kind of cool. So, hey. Now this next news item leads into something. So, give me a moment here. I want to see if this is all set up correctly. It is. It is set up correctly. Yeah, Leo he's always been good. Like he's I mean, name a movie where he coasts. You can't name one. Even Titanic. He's good in Titanic. Cass Cruz is the bad guy. Well, there's not really the bad guy. The bad guys are the protagonists. So I don't know how you do that, because this is basically a prequel and a sequel to Heat. I have no idea how they're going to do this without Val Kilmer. I don't understand how they're going to do it. Um I just don't know. How do you do it? So like Godfather 2, kind of. I did read the book. The book was good. The book was enjoyable, but I was also the whole time going, how are they going to do this? Because it takes place like a couple of years after Heat. It's been 30 years since that movie came out, so I don't know how they're going to do this. I mean, they're just going to have to recast. Now, we also know that Austin Butler's in it, and maybe Austin Butler is playing the Val Kilmer role, which isn't bad casting in my opinion. But I don't know. He's absolute rubbish in J. Edgar. I never saw that one. Recast with one of those bankable stars to be DiCaprio's adversary or ally. I'm trying to think of. Oh, I think I might know who DiCaprio would play. I think DiCaprio would play the young Neil McCauley, a young De Niro. I mean, there are bad guys that for sure in like other bad guys, but none so prominent that would require somebody like Leo to come in to play that character. I'm thinking Austin Butler as the couple of years after the original Heat, and then the other part of the story as the young Neil McCauley. Possibly. I don't know. It'll be interesting. This is going to be interesting. I've liked a bunch of Clint movies and Leo movies, but when they combined for J. Edgar, they made a stinker. Ah, okay. Have I seen the movie Unlawful Entry? I think the movie is underrated. Unlawful Entry. Why don't we take a look? Unlawful Entry. Ray Liotta, Kurt Russell, Madeline Stowe. I mean, no, I've never seen it. It's on Tubi right now. 6.4 on IMDb, which, doesn't always mean anything. Let's see. Pyramid? What's that? Sounds like a Cinemax movie. It does kind of. No, no, Wraith. There's no Waingro in the sequel. Well, again, in the book that I read, Waingro is not a factor because it's either before Heat or after Heat. I mean, I guess slightly spoiler alert for. I was wanting to see where all it was streaming. Oh, it's on Prime too. All right, so Prime. It's on the Shout. It's on Fossum, whatever that is. Oh wait, Fossum is the one that just started playing for me the other day. So yeah, there you go. No, I've never seen this film. Drama Cat. Sorry for the heavy lurk. I had a lot to do. Wait, I had a lot to do at work after Magic. No problem, man. Rufus, man, how many times do I have to tell you guys? You guys come and go as you please. This isn't a oh you open the door, you walk in, and then you're just locked in there for 3 hours. You do what you need to do, man. I get it. I mean, would I like for you to stay and talk to me for 3 hours and maintain eye contact? Sure. Yes. I'm surprised Rufus is even awake after his mammoth 137-hour stream on the weekend. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a lot of streaming right there. That's a lot of streaming. Now, some of you are fans of James Gunn. Some of you are not. But there's a point to this. It's not really about the news. It's about the thing. So, let me get my fat head out of the way. James Gunn debunks Teen Titans rumors, hints still early in development. So basically, what he says, and he says the same thing about rumors about the Batman 2. He says anything you've heard about that movie is made up or a guess. No one in the world knows anything about the concept for the story except 4 people. And those 4 people have not released their information to the public. So basically, what I think James Gunn is trying to say is if you don't see it in the trades or you don't hear it from me, then it's not a thing. And then there's something else that happened last week. And I'm not sure if all of you guys saw it, but if you did, you know exactly where I'm heading. Friend of the stream, or just really a friend of mine. He's never been on the stream or anything, but that's Beat 'em Ups, right? That's Wood. He was in Adventures in Game Chasing, where I met him, but he's also a pretty large YouTuber for the Nintendo Switch. And I don't know if you saw this, but he faked a rumor. He basically said, well, I've heard that there's a Nintendo Direct happening, and it's going to have this and it's going to have that or whatever. And he said, but I just heard that, and I don't know if it's true or not, or something like that. And what he was doing was trying to bait people into like to show how a rumor gets spread and then how people start reporting it as fact. And the video that he did was kind of fascinating from a psychological standpoint and from a just a regular internet standpoint. I'm just going to put it in the chat. If you guys want to watch it, cool. You know, but that's the video. And I got to say, I was super impressed. I was really, now, of course, there was a lot of backlash that came along with it because, you know, people are now accusing him of like, we can't trust anything you say now and all that kind of stuff. And he said, no, he goes, I was really trying to figure it out because I was tired of either getting excited by a rumor or something that's a leak or whatever, you know, people were saying. I thought that it was absolutely fascinating because he lays it all out. And he says, the reason I did this is to try to stop it. We need to stop believing everything that happens. And he goes, of course, what happens? A bunch of excited people say, oh my God, Wood announced this on his podcast. And man, if it turns out to be true, that could be really, really cool. And then other people pick up on it. And then news outlets started picking up on it. And it was crazy to watch the progression. I had no idea about any of this stuff because I don't pay attention to the Nintendo news stuff that much. But he said he never got over being dropped by Nintendo. Rufus, I don't think that's it at all. And I don't think it's platform abuse. I think this is absolutely, again, it's a fascinating video. I know that you hear that he made up a rumor and you think, wow, what a crappy thing to do. But it's fascinating. He did it for a video and he did it for a social experiment. And unfortunately, a lot of people kind of got hurt in the process, and he was anguishing over it because it was like, damn it, I didn't mean for it to be like that, you know, but he was trying to make a point that, and it's not just video gaming, and it's not just movies. It's the world that we live in. We live in a world of people parroting things that they hear, and then other people hear that and they think it's fact. And it's amazing to watch that progression and to see how it actually works. For me, this is one of the most important videos that Wood has ever done. And he doesn't know I'm saying this. And I don't think he cares, what I think about it. But to me, this was, again, it's not just about video games. It's about how, politics are run these days. It's about how, misinformation gets out there. Is because one person says it, somebody else picks up on it, they report on it, or they talk about it, and then it get, and so on and so forth. And suddenly, whatever this fake thing that somebody just made up is now fact, and people believe it. People believed that all these vapors were getting freaking popcorn lung. No vapor or smoker has ever contracted popcorn lung, ever. But man, how many articles did we see talking about vapors having popcorn lung? How many commenters on other videos have people said, "Oh my God, the popcorn lung"? It's fascinating. And this was, like I said, man, I enjoyed the video. I thought it was he does it in an entertaining way. He presents everything in an entertaining way. But I also find it absolutely fascinating. The way that the internet and the way that social media has turned into an echo chamber. And basically I don't know. It just shows how a rumor like this that he comes up with can proliferate based on people's preconceived notions of what they think is going to happen and their hopes. And man, I was super impressed. Super impressed. Like, again, I'll say it. I'll say it again. I think it's probably the best video I've ever seen him do. It was, and only someone like him in the position that he's in could pull off something like this. And I just think that's cool. I think that's really cool. So, yeah. And Rufus, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that there's a thing where you feel like he's got some bad intention there. And I don't think that's what was happening here. If you watch the video, I think that he in fact, he hates the fact that some people, got their hopes up based on information that he just made up off the spot. But people are, and I guarantee you, there's probably plenty of people that think just because they saw the thumbnail and just they'd never watched the video, that they think, oh, well, Wood's just a liar then. And they'll go on and that's what they'll think. Because again, I've talked about this many times about how we make mental shortcuts. The world is a busy place. Our minds are a busy place. Our lives are so packed full of information and things that we have to do, things we have, responsibilities, that we don't have the time to look into every single situation, right? If you guys, if somebody watching this doesn't vape, they have no idea that vaping is 95% safer than smoking, that the government is trying to, basically eradicate one of the, in fact, the most successful smoking, cessation product on the planet in history, that they're actively trying to keep the growth of it down because they're losing money off of the money they get from smoking, people smoking and dying. 480,000 people dying every year, right? People that don't vape, they don't know about that stuff. All they know is the stuff that they read on the news or they see in a headline or whatever. This is a perfect situation of somebody proving that point, that people are not, we don't think about the things the decisions that we make anymore. We make snap judgments off of something that someone said or one line or a headline, and we just make it the truth. How many times have you read an article and the headline is exactly the opposite of what the actual text in the article is? I find that absolutely fascinating. But it also proves the point that movie rumors and, oh, I heard such and such was going to be in this movie. I don't believe it until it's in Variety, Deadline, or Hollywood Reporter, because or Joe Blow, because those are proven places where I can go for news. But even they can get, they can get it wrong sometimes. But they have the best track record. So it's one of those things that, like I said, for movies, for video games, for politics, for just the world in general, it's really interesting. And I think it's, like I said, I think it's an incredibly interesting video, and yeah, like important. So I just put it out there. Hey, look, I'm just saying. Um let's see. Okay, wait, let me go back. Shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on. I'm talking to you. Come on. I'm not sure what that was for, but anyway. Uh I did 15 hours in one day Starfield. Wow, that's crazy. That's just like that. I couldn't do that. Well, I couldn't play a game that long anyway. I'd get frustrated and throw something and, you know, yeah. People are mad, but people have been doing direct rumors for years. Yeah, but that's the thing. It wasn't, he intentionally put out something that didn't have any basis on any sort of fact, simply to try to prove the point that we end up believing what we want a lot of the times. Again, take away the specifics of what he said and look at the idea that we, and I'm talking every single person, we don't have the time to research everything 100%. So a lot of times we end up making judgments on a headline, on a random person's statement, on whatever. And I find that incredibly true, but also fascinating to watch how things progressed and how it just got worse and worse to where all of a sudden it's been confirmed that such and such is going to be in it. No, nothing was confirmed. He didn't have a source. He even said, I don't have a source for this. Like, I mean, it was fascinating to watch, but he's been untrusty for a while. Now, I will say the one thing that I will say about beat 'em ups, and this is coming from somebody who's a friend, but also a fan, mostly a fan. I'm not that much of a friend of his. I mean, I would like to be, but we don't hang out anymore since he's in Philadelphia and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not in his circle or anything like that, and he's not in mine. But I do like him, and I do believe him that the intention was to point out the fallacy in believing rumors and how these rumors proliferate, and I find that fascinating. So, all that being said, I do think that he was a little, clickbaity. That's not really being untrustworthy. That's just being clickbaity. And yeah, he's guilty of that. I mean, I think he will even say that he's been guilty of that in the past. But I don't know. It's not the first time though he likes to fib. Like what? What did he fib about? I don't know of anything. I mean, and I will also say that again, I don't pay attention to a lot of the other stuff. Like if he said something on some sort of social media or some other show, excuse me, then yeah, I could be completely wrong. But as far as I know, Yeah. And I don't think the being dropped by Nintendo doesn't. I mean, it hurt his feelings, but I don't think. I mean, if he wasn't over it, why would he continue to? I mean, I guess you could say, well, he has to continue because that's what his subscriber base is. But I don't know. If you don't have your word, you have nothing. I mean, you're true. That's true, but I don't think that's. Again, I mean, look, you tell me. Reminds me of when Corridor Crew made that fake UFO vid. I don't know what that is, but it sounds familiar. He was showing that false info spreads. Yeah. I don't think Wood is a bad guy. I think he has a big heart and he's a nostalgia guru. I used to love watching him, but he does dumb things like this. I don't think it was dumb at all. I think it was awesome. Like I said, I absolutely loved it. And this is coming from somebody, like I said, more of a fan than anything. You know, clicking on the thing going, oh crap, is this going to be an apology video? That's what I thought it was. And then I watch it and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, I love that he did it. Toad was going to be in the new Super Smash. What's put people in a tizzy? It was something about Animal Crossing. And it was like, oh, I think it was something like Animal Crossing is coming to the Switch too. And it's going to be in the new Direct. I think that's what it was. The way he handled Wolf Den leaving the Nintendo podcast was my final straw. I just can't. All I saw about that was he was hurt about it. You know, he was hurt that, you know, his friend that they built this podcast, you know, and this following. But throwing away your integrity for an experiment nobody asked for, not dumb. I think the experiment was an afterthought to cover up a bad decision. If it was an afterthought, then he wouldn't have recorded. See, that's one of the things that he says. He says a lot of people will think that I just came up with this idea because I decided to lie. After the podcast was over, he recorded again. Everything's in the same spot. His guest is still on, and he says all of that I just said was fake. And the whole reason is because I want to see how these rumors proliferate. So I don't think that's what it was. And again, I like I said, I think it was awesome. And you might be saying, well, Rob, what if he said something about Star Wars or whatever? Again, I don't believe anything unless it's in one of the major trades. And when it comes to video game news, I don't believe any. And the thing is, if you listen to what he said, nothing in what he said was anything but, hey, I heard this thing. I don't really have a source for it, and it could be false. They didn't pick up on that. And one Reddit post outlined the bullet points of what he said without any of the context. And then somebody else picked up on that, did a freaking YouTube video on it. So showing how, because of, you know, it's like he said, then this, you know, this person tells this person tells this person. And then by the end, you've got this completely different thing. That's the point that he was trying to make. And I thought it was awesome. Again, you can believe what you want, but this was amazing is what it was. And I don't know what to say other than, you know, trust your old pal, Rob. I know clickbaity and I know, you know, being false and all that stuff. This was not Wood being false. This was Wood playing 4D chess, number one. And number two, he covered all of his bases and even said, this might not be true. And people still were like, Wood said this happened. And it's all based off of, like I said, it's based off of their hopes. And it's based off of, you know, what they already were thinking. It's like when somebody says something that you already think is possible, it confirms it in your head. And then somebody makes a video and all of a sudden it goes from a rumor to then a leak to it's confirmed. He had nothing to do with it other than saying the original thing. It was fascinating to watch how it progressed. I just think that's cool. And it says a lot about human behavior. And if you want to call it an experiment, the social media thing is the experiment, you know? Social media is, again, it's one of the best things to ever happen to the human race and one of the worst things. I've said it so many times. The best thing is that it gave everyone a voice, and the worst thing about it is that it gave everyone a voice. It's fascinating to me. As somebody who, again, studied sociology and psychology and all that kind of stuff, a bunch of ologies, watching people section themselves off into different tribes and different sections and finding ways to separate themselves from anybody else, it's fascinating to watch. It's fascinating, which is one of those things where I'm like, I could be wrong, but this is like 100% false, and it's based off of really bad info. Anyway, I went to the store, bought potatoes in between. It was 2 streams. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I will say that he did kind of act very, but who wouldn't? Hey, let's build this podcast thing together. Okay, cool. And then you start doing it, and then it finally starts to blow up, and then he quits. And it's like, damn, man. I would be hurt too. But again, I didn't pay attention to all that stuff, so I could be completely wrong on that part. On the playground is where he spent most of his days. Who are we talking about here? We talking about the Fresh Prince? Most people are clickbaity. It's just how you get clicks and views. That's just how things are now. Except if you're Order 42, apparently. All I try to do is ask a question. That's as clickbaity as I get. Is this like my, what was it? My short on whatever day. I was talking about Megalopolis. And I said, was this Francis's folly? I mean, yeah. But it can be looked at as a triumph. And I explained that if you watch the video. Nintendo still invited him to the Switch 2 preview events. Well, apparently I think he was just lucky getting in there, because I don't think even Spawnwave got in there. I think a lot of YouTubers just weren't able to go. I mean, Wolfden wasn't able to get in. The only reason he got in is because Wood took him. But all he has in this world is his bowls and his word, and he don't break them for nobody. Yes. That sounds strangely affirmation or something. I don't believe anything video game related until it comes out of Jeff Keighley or Cliff Bleszinski's mouth. I don't know any of those. I mean, Jeff Keighley, I know. But even then, I don't know. If he prefaced it with, "This might not be true," I take back all I said. My apologies. See, I mean, hey, it's one of those weird things, right? Where it's, again, you can have, it's weird though. And this is one of those things that I think all of us, and I mean, myself included, I've caught myself making a judgment call based off of a thumbnail or a title, like Film Threat. I could be completely wrong about Film Threat, and I watch it and it's like all these guys and they're just talking really open-minded about movies. But all I see are clickbaity and anti-woke thumbnails, and it makes me not want to watch the video. Because I don't watch videos to get riled up about something. I watch videos to learn something, right? Whether it's, hey, am I going to like this movie? Or, hey, does somebody have something interesting to say about this process or this, you know what I mean? Like Patrick Willems. Film Threat looks like another one of those places that just want to rile people up for engagement. The almighty algorithm. And I just don't do that. but I could be completely wrong. And I have to know that. And you can tell me, am I wrong? Am I wrong here? What's up, Carbonite? Good to see you. We were just talking about the latest beat 'em ups video that I thought was absolutely fascinating. I didn't want to say anything on Twitter or Discord about it until I wanted to get it in on video here. These are my thoughts, and then I can do a tweet or something. But I do want to basically say I think this is I'm not kidding. I think it's the most important, because again, it doesn't just touch video games. It touches everything. Anything. If you make a judgment, I don't know how many times I've done this, where I've seen something from somebody and gone, nope. And it's because I've had that mental shortcut in my head now that I don't like this person. I don't want to hear from this person. I don't even remember why in most cases. But I just know that the mental shortcut is there that has said, nope, turn that off. Shut that out. And unfortunately, because our lives are so busy, we wouldn't be able to do anything else if we had to research every single thing that came our way. It's just very interesting. Psychologically, sociologically, super interesting. But that's just me. Wait a minute. See, you saw an article. Mm-hmm. And see, that's the thing. The article was based off of faulty information, probably. I would be interested to know. I mean, you probably don't remember now, but it would be interesting to know what that article was, if it was one of the articles that he brings up in his video, which I think is funny. Quarter Crew is a big YouTube channel of CG artists who cover review CG effects. They also did some UFO video analysis debunks using their professional expertise, then posted a fake UFO vid on our UFOs. See, the problem with the UFO thing is I don't believe any of it now. I've completely gotten turned off on even thinking about it. I don't want to hear from anybody. I don't even watch Christian Harloff stuff anymore, just because I'm tired of it feels like a circle, and it feels like a circle of grift, and I don't give me hard evidence or I'm out. And that's basically what's happened to me with the UFO stuff, unfortunately, because I find it fascinating, but yeah. I only listen to Major Nelson. 4, 3, 2, 1. Earth below us. Oh, sorry. Is it Major Nelson? I don't know. Or is that I Dream of Jeannie? I don't know what are we talking about? Zifrosh? I don't know what that means either. I'm so bad. So bad. You haven't seen that one yet? Carbonite, I would recommend it. And again, you have to keep an open mind, because you might get angry at first. Because I was kind of like, what? Are you up to weird shenanigans? What is going on here? And then he makes his point, and I go, holy shit. Like I said, I feel like it was brilliant. So, watching The Evil Dead and for how low budget it still has a nice picture. Yeah. Well, it also depends on how it's, if they actually took the time to restore it, or because that was probably shot on what, 16 millimeter? Maybe? I don't know. It just depends on how they remaster it. Truth be told, I don't listen to any video game news. If it's not out, I don't have any anticipation in me. I'll say this, and you can take this news, and you can take it to the bank. I'm really enjoying Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's pretty fun. It's not exactly news, but it's pretty fun. I like it. I don't know what level I'm on. I don't know how much more is in the game. I think I'm level 1400, sub level 1400. All I know is I'm having a good time. Now, I will from time to time get in a level and curse loudly because he doesn't do exactly what I want him to do. And it's most likely because I pushed the wrong button somewhere. But overall, I'm still enjoying it. So there you go. I don't remember it being rated NC-17. The Evil Dead? Really? The US government has some very crazy toys. I mean, that is absolutely true. But the thing is like, man, I seriously considered making a UFO channel or not like a Y-Files, but more of a kind of like the Order 42 for the unknown, basically, is what I was thinking. And then I was just like, I can't. My problem is Y-Files exists and they do it so much better than I could. They have they have a team of researchers now. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, it's like, babe, but that's, I could use that same analogy for this stuff, right? The stuff that I do here. Because I mean, there's a million movie channel review places, but I'm really passionate about this. I'm not as passionate about the unknown and the UFO stuff and the underwater whatever and the pyramids and all that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just don't have the energy for that. And I'm trying to get this script going. So I should probably focus on that instead of trying to start a new whatever channel. But you know what I mean? I'm an agent of disruption tonight, apparently. Bonobo juice. That's okay. You're the Joker. You just want to watch the world burn. You want to watch this stream burn is what it is. But that's all right. Evil Dead 2 is the perfect Evil Dead. I haven't watched all of them in a long time. Oh, that's NC-17. Okay. I don't remember that in the movie, but I've watched Bubba Hotep. It's pretty fun. I like it. I still follow a lot of the UFO stuff for the same reason you find the wood thing interesting. The psychology of belief is fascinating to me. It's like that Sagan fella said when asked by Harvard University psychiatrist John Mack, "Is there anything to this UFO business?" "Not much," I replied, "except of course on the psychiatric side." I mean, absolutely, but I don't have the patience for that. And there's a lot of it doesn't hold my interest. You know? Movie stuff, man, I'm always interested in, like Dan Morrell. I know that some people probably don't like the way that he presents stuff or whatever. It's all like, facts and all that stuff. There's very little emotion to it. But I love looking at the numbers and thinking about the way that studios make their decisions based off of the box office. I find that fascinating. And then Bucho, which is actually kind of interesting. In fact, it's out there. If you go to John Campia's channel, he did a video today talking about why using inflation to compare box office numbers is an interesting metric, but is not the only. It's not the end all be all that some people make it out to be. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't believe I hadn't thought about that. Like I hadn't really thought about the fact that Gone with the Wind sold it today would have made $4.5 billion. No, it wouldn't have, because Gone with the Wind, if it came out today, it's 4 hours. Nobody's going to go sit in the theater for 4 hours to watch that. The other thing is, movie tickets aren't a quarter anymore. And movies don't play for 2 straight years. So I was like, wow, interesting. Like I thought that he laid out a pretty good point. He said it's an interesting metric, but it's kind of like trying to figure out who the best fighter is, Bruce Lee or the current UFC champion. Name the UFC champion. And I'm like, yeah, that's really interesting, because Bruce Lee fought differently based on the time period that he was in. But also, you don't really know because Bruce Lee didn't go through the same kind of training processes that or ways of training that this guy did. And he might be really, really good at that one thing that could beat Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee could have beat him, it's an interesting thing. Or pound for pound discussions and things like that. It's an interesting kind of discussion, but it's not the end all be all, which I find really interesting. You know, gotta head out. My OBS is not letting me multi-stream, so I'm gonna try to figure out why. Night Robin chat. Carbonite. Have a good one, sir. Have a good one. Have a good one. I already said that. Oh, I didn't even read that earlier. Sorry, Carbonite. I didn't see you leaving. I for some reason I went right to the Bucho stuff. Oh, because you were right in between. There you go. I don't know. You don't want to watch the stream burn? Maybe a little bit. Just kidding. You know what's fascinating psychiatrically? Flat earthers. Imagine thinking all of space media is fake. Yeah, I just don't get it. Like I don't get how you can even fool yourself into thinking that it's even this much possible, let alone, I mean, there's so many things that I'm like, did you guys not pay attention in school? Like at all? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't understand. Evil Dead 2 was NC-17 because of a geyser of blood scene was like a water hose. Oh. I didn't know that. And yeah. See ya. There's Carbonite. See ya, Carbonite. Have a good one. It's the same core subject as the wood stuff you're chatting about, though. It's the psychology of belief. Yeah, but I don't know. I guess it's just because if you apply that same philosophy of what he did to so many different things going on in the world, that there are definitely oppositions, right? And some people have made decisions about where they stand based off of faulty information. That's fascinating. Like, I'm just gonna come out and say this. I think Hitler was a bad guy. Just saying. Oh my God. So, people saying that he's not, I don't understand that. Like, you need to go to school. You need to read your history, because holy crap. Just saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. How do you? I don't know. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock. So you know what that means. It's time to open up Discord so we can hang out and maybe, have an interesting conversation. I do need to pee again, though. Isn't that weird? It's only been an hour and I have to pee again. UFOs is just one topic you can apply it to, but it applies to every topic. Entertainment, conspiracy, malarkey, politics, sports, even science itself. Definitely vaping, unfortunately, because, hey, I don't understand that at all. I mean, I do. I mean, come on, I do. But hey, look at there. Rufus the Red is already in here. Look at that. People like affirmation. Similar thinking people will populate together. Yeah. But it's when they start lying to each other. That's when it gets dangerous. And it gets scary. The thing with flat earth to me, if I wanted proof and I don't, i.e. micro, macro, look at a drop of water, look at a soap bubble. Everything wants to be spherical without exterior interference. Real Proto Mike. Hi, I think this is the first thing you've said all night. But later, man. Yeah, we're gonna head on over to the Discord. So if you guys want to come chat with us over in the Discord, hey, come do it. It'll be fun. But again, let me just mention this one more time. Number one, there's a great possibility, almost for sure, that next week there will not be a stream on Tuesday. It will be on Wednesday, because I'm gonna watch Alien Earth and do a review of it, because I'm an alien freak. What can I say? But other than that, yeah. Hope you guys have a great week. I'm gonna go see Weapons on Thursday. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be on Chainsaw Reacts channel tomorrow. Man, got a busy couple of days coming up. But hey, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Eh? All right. Bye.